Good morning and welcome to the final day of the British Para Swimming International Meet 2018 right here at the Ponds Forge International Sports Centre. My name's John Mason. I'm going to be taking you through today's action. Been here all week and what a week it's been. Some incredible action has been happening in this pool. We've had gold medals, we've had world records and we've had a whole lot of fun with the skins. It's been brilliant. But of course, lots more happening today as well. We've got lots of events happening this morning. These heats are trying to get these athletes qualified to tonight's finals. We have 3 finals for each of the World Series events and 1 British national final. So there's essentially 2 competitions rolled into 1 event. So you get in twice, it's like 2 for 1. I love that. Of course, lots of world-class athletes battling it out for not just a place on that podium, but with the British team as well. They're trying to make that selection for the Europeans later on this year. So very, very exciting stuff, and it all starts right here. Tonight's finals, of course, are going to be streamed live on the BBC Sport website. It's bbc.co.uk/sport and British Swimming's website and YouTube page as well. That's britishswimming.org. The hashtag for the whole event is hashtag BPSIM18. So join the conversation online, get taking those selfies, you know, tweet the tweets, let us know what you think, all that sort of jazz. Who doesn't have a bit of Instagram and Twitter and all that jazz now? So hashtag BPSIM. But it all does start here, of course. Yesterday's action, incredible. We had world records broken, we had gold medals, all that sort of stuff. And if you missed it, do not fret, because we put together a little package for you. It's going to show you just some of the fun we had last night. So let's take a look. Hello and welcome to the British Para Swimming International Meet 2018. My name's John Mason and I'm here to take you behind the scenes of the beautiful Ponds Forge International Sports Centre to show you what happens at one of the world's biggest para swimming events. So let's do it. Now this behind me is a very, very important part of an athlete's preparation. It's the warm-up and cool-down pool, but they also need a lot of spatial awareness, because look at that. It's worse than peak hour on the M25. Right behind me is the call room. This is moments before the race. This is where the athletes get their head game on. This is the most intense room in the building. Good luck, boys.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to day 4 of this British Swimming International Meet 2018. So let's put your hands together, let's give them a big welcome as they come onto poolside, your technical officials. Your referees for this morning's session, Sue Barker. And Stephen Christian. Your starters, Colin Avison. And Martin Noble. And your World Paraswimming Technical Delegate, Tony Ward. Officials, please take your seats.
Well, Paul, here we go. Final day of heats. How are we feeling heading into this morning's session?
Yeah, good. It's been a quick week. It's been an exciting week. Got a lot of distance events this morning, 200 and 400s for us to look forward to. Quite like the distance events, actually. It gives us a little bit of a time to breathe. Pretty quick fire, these sprints and 100s the other day.
It has been fast and furious the last couple of days, but as we head into this, obviously starting with the women's 200-meter freestyle heats, of course. These ladies, as throughout the rest of the week, trying to make those top 30 if they can. If there's going to be 3 finals tonight, there can potentially be 2, and even if there's less, we can have 1 final. But doing their best to get into that top 30.
Yeah, 200 freestyles we start with, 400 as well to enjoy. 50 backstroke tonight as well. So no heats for the 50 backstroke this morning, so it's distance all the way. As these first athletes come out for the first race, yeah. I think 3 heats we've got in this women's 200 freestyle for this morning. 200 freestyle, an event which is, well, there's a range of classes. The S14 class do this one, and the event's dominated by the S14 swimmers, but also the S5 and below swimmers do that as well. So a little bit of a restricted field, as we say. The swimmers from S6 through to S10 and S13 not really doing this event, but we do have a number of classes eligible to do that. It's all about the international program. And these swimmers will be competing in this one in the international events. Of course, the British team trying to qualify for those European Championships. A number of qualifiers, and we'll maybe recap on them as we go through the distance races. As we said, John, a little bit of time for us to talk this morning.
Absolutely.
So 3 swimmers taking the start for heat number 1.
There we have it, off and racing into our first heat of this morning's 200-meter freestyle for the women's program. In lane 3, we have Ho Ying Cheng from Hong Kong. Lane 4 is Louise Vides from Great Britain, and Danielle Harton from Great Britain in lane 5.
Yeah, Louise Vides had a very good week. Saw her nearly win that skins event against Bethany Firth. That was a cracking final, wasn't it? 4/100ths of a second at the end.
You absolutely could not pick it. It was such a great race, such a great race. But, you know, they seem to enjoy themselves, which is always just as important. Here she is again, lane 4, taking the lead.
Looking for maybe a consideration time for the European Championship team. That entry time that she's looking for, consideration time 2:11.50. So it's quite a tough ask there for the S14 class for women. Of course, Great Britain got some great strength in this event. Paralympic gold and silver medalists will go in the next 2 heats. So Great Britain very, very strong in this 200 freestyle. But Louise Vides out pretty well, 105.83. Just trying to make the way into that final. I think we're probably only going to have one final this evening. It's the number of finals that we have in the World Para Series depends on the entries for the particular events. There are less than 25 due to just have one final. I think that's where we are with this 200 freestyle. And if they're over 25 and less than 60, we will have 2 finals. And I think that's where we're going to be with the men's 200 freestyle as well. So different finals, different number of finals taking place, but Louise Vides trying to be one of the swimmers who's taking part in that final tonight, and I think she's going about it in the right way, John.
Yeah, she certainly is. She's built up quite a substantial lead here as she heads into that final 15. And on the touch, 2:15.61. Of course, it goes by points here. Point system, whoever has the top highest points, it's not necessarily first to the wall, it's first to the points in their classifications. There it is, Louise Vides, 730 points is the benchmark from heat 1. That's what these other swimmers will be looking to get to or better.
The result looks like it's confirmed on the scoreboard. 2:15.61, 730 points. Louise Vides will take that one. It's a good swim, pretty comfortable. She can go faster in the final tonight. But that is the confirmed result for heat number 1. Swimmers are ready. Heat 1 is out. We go on to heat number 2.
have it, heat 2 underway now. For the women's 200-meter freestyle, lane 1, Tully Kearney for Great Britain. Yu Lam Chan for Hong Kong in lane 2. Siu Kiu Chil for Hong Kong in lane 3. Jessica Jane Applegate for Great Britain in 4. Chloe Davis for Great Britain in 5. Mila Greening, USA, 6. In 7 is Yanting Danielle Moy for Singapore, and Gina Buecha for Germany in 8. So coming into the toucher is Jessica Jane Applegate out in front, 30.02. Paralympic silver medalist in this event. Very strong event for her.
Yeah, very strong. Silver in Rio. She was gold in London, so great record in this one for Jessica Jane Applegate. She swam really well in the butterfly yesterday to win that title. Jessica Jane Applegate already with consideration time under her belt, so she's one of the swimmers that's made those times for the GB team. Coming up to halfway, we'll have a good look at this time. 103.14, that's pretty good. She's on course to make another consideration time here. Jessica Jane Applegate looking in good shape here.
Yeah, she does seem to be on fantastic form heading into this competition. We had a chat yesterday and she was sort of saying she was, just a tiny, a couple of points off her own world record time. She said, she was disappointed she didn't make it. I said, it was still it was a great swim for you. She said, I know, I could have done better. So looking to really push herself throughout this competition and moving towards Europeans, I feel. It's fantastic to see. She comes into that final turn there, 136.16.
Pretty good for Jessica Jane. Second place, Chloe Davis there, just coming into the turn now, 146.24. Chloe Davis was a member of the GB team in London 2012. She was the youngest member of that swimming team, Chloe Davis. She was just 13 years of age at that time. But she is fighting it out for her second place at the moment, just holding on as Jessica Jane Applegate comes to the finish here. And a good time for her, 208.56. That is a consideration time. That'll add to her tally of consideration times that she has. Chloe Davis is coming in now in lane number 5. Around about the 2:23 mark or so, 2:22.83 for Chloe Davis, 625 points. Keep an eye on the outside lanes though. Tully Kearney has been swimming well this week. An S5 swimmer, has been reclassified recently, swimming in the S5. We'll keep an eye on her time here down in lane number 1. Tully Kearney coming into the wall now. British record stands at 3:20. I think she'll be inside that. She's been smashing records all week. And Tully Kearney is in 2:48.51. And that, if that is confirmed, will be a new British record. And 932 points for Tully Kearney in the S5 class.
An absolutely massive swim there for her, 932. Gina Butcher for Germany coming into the final stretch now, the final 25 on the outside lane, lane 8.
The S4 class, of course, the lowest numerical class in this one. You have the swimmers with a physical impairment going from S1 to S10, S1 being the most impaired and S10 being the least impaired. So the S4 certainly in the upper end of impairment. And Gina Butcher coming in, 527 points, 3:40, just outside her entry time, only a second in it, but a good swim from the German. And with that time, with the points total, I should say, of 527 points. Well, giving herself an outside chance of making that final tonight. But a good swim from Tully Kearney. And on the scoreboard, you can see time is confirmed, 2:48.51. New British record for Tully Kearney.
That brings us on to our third and final heat this morning, the women's 200-meter freestyle. Our third and final heat underway here for the 200 free. Patricia Pinheiro dos Santos for Brazil in lane 0, Sarah Louise Rung for Norway, lane 1, Janina Falk, Austria, lane 2, Anna Carolina Oliveira from Brazil in lane 3, Bethany Firth for Great Britain in lane 4, Janina Brewer for Germany, lane 5, Beatrice Carneiro for Brazil in lane 6, Dore Magnusdottir, Iceland, lane 7, Peggy Sontag, Germany, lane 8, and Mayumi Narita, Japan.
Vastly experienced Narita in the outside lane there, the Japanese swimmer. Been in the Paralympic Games, well, 5 Paralympic Games to her name, starting way back in 1996. 15 Paralympic gold medals for the Japanese swimmer in the outside lane. We'll come back to Narita a little bit later on when we have the points totals. At the moment, though, Bethany Firth stretching away at the front there, 103.10. Great Britain swimmer is world record holder. Set that world record 2 years ago in Glasgow, 202.09. So a really tough target here for Bethany Firth. Not sure if she's going to challenge that in this morning's heats. Maybe tonight. You never know in the final. Looks like she's set to make that final. Janina Brewer got a great World Championships last year, the German. Winning 2 gold medals. She is coming over in second position. Anna Carolina Oliveira in third place there. The Brazilian, 3 S14s out ahead. And swimmers in the lower classes are in the outside lanes. We'll come back to them. Bethany Firth on her way home here. Wonder if she will challenge that time from Jessica Jane Applegate in that previous heat. 856 points for Jessica Jane. She's going to be outside that. Bethany Firth at 809 should be safely into that final tonight. The S14 swimmers all coming in now. Second place there was Janina Brewer. Contest in 6 and 7 coming in together there. Dore Magnusdottir. And swimmer in the outside lane there. Sarah Louise Rung is the first of the outside lanes to come in here. Norwegian swimmer, great Norwegian champion, multi-Paralympic medalist. She is over in lane number 1 in 256.38, and that's 680 points for the Norwegian. The outside lane though, right up at the top there, the experienced Narita. Spoke about her earlier, 15 Paralympic gold medals to her name over the years. Heroine in Japan, 625 points for her. It's behind Sarah Louise Rung. Maybe right on the cusp of making that final. Peggy Sontag from Germany. The S5 swimmer. Well, she won't challenge points totals either. She's coming in behind Narita. And she touches in 334.53.
Waiting for those
result not confirmed because we're still waiting for a time. One of the timing pads didn't register there for Beatrice Carneiro from Brazil, so let's wait for a manual time. Guys are getting ready for the next event, which is the men's 200 freestyle. Bethany Firth, 809 points, should be safely into that final if that's confirmed. It's always a nervous wait when the results aren't confirmed at the end of a race. Sometimes means a disqualification. In freestyle, not that easy to be disqualified, but there are a few things that might happen.
Yes, we've seen quite a few of those, obviously, with the changes to the rules this year. There's been quite a few this week. Hopefully not too many today.
Yeah, breaststroke, butterfly especially. Hopefully the freestyles will be okay. We shall see. Still waiting for that time now. Beatrice Carneiro. Wondering what she's actually swum. She was behind the top 3 from memory there, so she'll be around about the Maybe 500-point mark, the Brazilian in lane number 6. Shouldn't affect the top rankings as they go into the final. Here we are, just under. Wasn't a bad guess, was it?
Quite impressed with that, Paul. Just waiting for those times to be confirmed. There you have it. Bethany Firth taking it to 11.05 with 809 points. Janina Brewer from Germany 2:18.67 with 6.82, and Sarah Louise Rung from Norway in 3rd. This next list should be, there it is. They are your qualifiers for tonight's final.
Yeah, there was 10 in there, I think, equal 8th place, so even though they said 9th there, I think it was 10th on that first screen as we saw flicking through there, so 10 on that first screen, equal 8th place, so no need for a swim-off, that's a shame.
I know you love a swim-off, Paul.
I do.
And that brings us along to the men's program, of course, the men's 200-meter freestyle heat 1. There we have it, off and racing, the men's heat 1 of the 200-meter freestyle. In lane 1, Curtis Lovejoy, the United States of America. Mohammed Sheikh from India, lane 2. Alberto Abaza from Chile in lane 3. Mohammed Zulkifli from Malaysia in 5. Jair Pinho from Portugal in 6. And Itzhak Mameslatov from Israel in 7. Zulkifli from Malaysia, first to the touch, 39.66. S5 swimmer, making his way down into his second 50. Of course, Curtis Lovejoy up here in lane 1, took a gold the other day, was over the moon with that. And a nice little chat with him. Hoping to get a nice time and get himself through that final tonight.
Yeah, it was a good demonstration of this multi-class swimming the other day in the 150 individual medley. Curtis Lovejoy with a lower classification, he's the S2 class, and he was quite a way behind the winner of that 150 IM, Takayuki Suzuki, in terms of time. At 1 point separated them at the end. We could hardly believe it here. It's very good, Curtis Lovejoy. He's going in lane number 2. He's ahead of Alberto Abaza at the moment. In fact, Curtis Lovejoy actually in lane number 1. It's Mohammed Said who is ahead of the Chilean swimmer, Alberto Abaza. And Mohammed Said coming to the wall there. He is in second place, the Indian team. Building their team up. I'm speaking to their coach yesterday. He was telling me they're got a number of swimmers here at Sheffield. They've got another batch of swimmers going to the Berlin, the final leg of the World Para Series next week. So India really building up their programme. And of course the World Championships next year will be in Malaysia, Southeast Asia. So I think India hoping to have a big team there at that World Championships if they can get the qualifying times to go there. And the Malaysian swimmer is leading them. He'll be hoping to make it to his home World Championships next year. Mohammed Zulkifli, he had an entry time of 3:15.28. It's all S2s and S5s in this one, the way it's turned out. And the S5 swimmers are 1 and 2 at the moment. Jalpino in 4th place behind Alberto Abaza from Chile. Leading swimmer now. I wonder if he's going to get close to his entry time. I think he's just going to slip by there. 3:15 is the entry time. Clock just ticking over at 3:15 now. It's going to be just over the 3:20 mark. 3:21.80 for Muhammad Zulkifli from Malaysia. 383 points. I think we'll have two finals tonight, John, in this one.
I think we will, by the looks of it. It's always one for the women and two for the men. It is obviously, as you mentioned earlier, it is how many people have entered into the heats, how many athletes we have swimming in the heats is how many finals we will have in the evening. So for the women's program that we just watched, that single final, highest points in that race will take the gold. It'll be a nervous wait for the swimmers in the first heat of the World Series final in the men's program.
It will be. It's a close finish here. Yeah, Alberto Abarza from Chile, winner of the World Series last year. The swimmers in the lower classification numbers going to post a big score here, 672 points for the Chilean swimmer. That's a good score there. The S2 swimmer just getting in ahead. Well, he was actually behind the Indian at the end there in terms of time, but it was a big points difference between the two of them. Alberto Abarza from Chile, line 6 coming in now. Gilpino from Portugal, 4:33. Still two swimmers to come. The two guys who have swum against each other for many years now. Ishtak Mamisvalov of Israel. I remember him setting a world record here a few years back. And again, John, it was just like you say, he was a long way behind. He qualified for the multi-class final, long way behind all the guys that had finished in the 200 freestyle. And he finished in something like almost 5 minutes. And the guys had finished, in 2.5 minutes. They had 2.5 minutes to wait to see if they won. And bang, world record for Mamisvalov. And they were knocked off the position. Not a world record today. 5:10.52 for the Israeli. 363 points for him.
Just one more swimmer coming home now into that final stretch. Curtis Lovejoy for the United States of America in lane 1, the outside lane. Which is that 15-meter mark. Ladies and gentlemen, put your hands together and let's bring him home. There we are, Curtis Lovejoy finishing 6:02.29, 2:29. And that concludes our heat 1 of the men's 200-meter freestyle. Just waiting for those results to be confirmed, and there you have it, up there on the scoreboard. They are the results for heat 1. So currently, Alberto Abarza from Chile is 672 points. That is the benchmark. That is what the swimmers in the furthermore heats will be trying to beat.
Yeah, not bad target there. See there the lineup for heat number 2. Takayuki Suzuki from Japan goes in the top lane there. In lane number 9, he's the S4 class. All the rest are S14, so we'll have to wait for Suzuki to finish at the end of this one. The S14s should be significantly faster, but Takayuki Suzuki is going to be right up there in terms of points, I'm sure.
Yeah, he's had a fantastic week so far. Some great swims. I spoke to him earlier. He was incredibly happy with the times he was pulling, so really happy with his performances. Let's see how he pulls this out today.
Yeah, based in Newcastle. Swimming up there. You wonder why his English was so good. A little bit of a Geordie accent.
He does.
A Japanese Geordie accent. He's going in now in lane number 9, Suzuki. The guys in the centre, kind of international field in this second heat. Looks like the swimmers are just about out of the pool from that first heat. Pool have to be absolutely clear, of course, before we can start this second heat. Looks like they're out now and ready to go for heat number 2. All S14s, with the exception of Suzuki in lane number 9.
Off and racing for Heat 2. Lane 0, Liang Xiaohan from Singapore. Mod Abdullah from Malaysia in lane 1. Lane 2 is Jack Milne for Great Britain. Liam Spence for Britain in lane 3. Wei Long Tang for Hong Kong in lane 4. Alex Rosser for Great Britain in lane 5. Lane 6 is Hon Yin Wong. 7, Adam Ismail Wenham for Norway. 8 is Chung Wei Yung for Malaysia. And 9 is Takayuki Suzuki for Japan. She did mention lanes 0 to 8 S4 teams in this race. And we have S4 swimmer Takayuki Suzuki in lane 9. Wei Lok Tang for Hong Kong. Coming in first to the touch at that 100-meter split. And he's there at 58.42. Full body length in front as he heads down to that 150 mark. Not much in it for second and third. There's 2, 3, and 6. Jack Milne, Liam Spence, and Hon Yin Wong will be battling it out for second and third of this heat. Of course, in the timings, it all does depend on the points. 129.25 for Wei Lok Tang as he approaches that final 25. 2 full body lengths in front. A great swim for him. He's gone out hard, especially on this back end. It's a final push as he comes into the wall. And he is going to be first to touch. A time there, 2 minutes 8:4, 889. A great swim for him. 889 is going to be the points to beat. That is the benchmark. Of course, we have Takayuki Suzuki making his final turn now as he comes into his final 50. 2:15.20 at that 150 split.
Oh, good swim at the front of the field there for Wei Lok Tang. Takayuki Suzuki now will help him home here. See, Wei Lok Tang there, Paralympic champion, real surprise winner of that Paralympic title in Rio ahead of Great Britain's Tom Hamer, who will be swimming very shortly. But Takayuki Suzuki now coming into the closing stages here. S4 swimmer from Japan, one of a big Japanese team here. And he's just over the 3-minute mark. It's going to be a good points total for him though, 863. Well, I think we might see Taka Suzuki in the final tonight with that score. Well, right up there, second behind Wei Lok Tang.
Certainly was a fantastic swim for both of them. Wei Lok Tang 2:00.84, 889 is the benchmark point score to beat. Takayuki Suzuki just behind him, 863. Well, it's looking like it's shaping up to be quite an interesting final tonight.
Yeah, absolutely. Wei Lok Tang, as I said, kind of a surprise winner in Rio in 2016. We knew that rivalry he has with Tom Hamer. Haven't swum against each other a couple of years now. Tom Hamer in heat number 4. This is heat number 3. Swimmers are there. All S4 teams, with the exception of one, Michael Schumacher up there in lane number 9.
We are heat 3 underway. As we are coming into the first touch down here at the 50 split. First in is Keiji Nakajima for Japan, 26.67. This is our penultimate heat of the men's 200-meter freestyle. Just one more to go out of this. So these athletes really pushing hard as they come into that 100-meter split. 56.82 for Keiichi Nakajima. Jordan Catchpole for Great Britain in second, 58.9. In third is Yasuhiro Tanaka for Japan, 1:00.93. As they enter the back half of this race.
To say the Japanese have come with a very good squad here. The S14 swimmers have performed really well. Nakajima was a medalist last night in the fly. Goes over in 1:29.10. Jordan Catchpole had a good swim, backstroke yesterday. Made that consideration time for the GB team for the European Championships, but Nakajima looks like he maybe has the edge over Jordan Catchpole. Jordan Catchpole trying hard though in these closing stages now, closing up on Nakajima, trying to make sure of a place in this final. Jordan Catchpole, but Nakajima responds and gets the touch at the end. Well, it was a real fight between the two of them, but Jordan Catchpole, excellent time for him. There it goes in 2:01.38. Nakajima, just a little bit of a spurt at the end to take him away from the GB swimmer. Nakajima surely will be in that final, 883 points. Catchpole not far behind, 877 points. But remember, we do have Michael Schumacher in the outside lane here, the S4 swimmer from the Netherlands. Still with around about 40 meters to go, but Nakajima happy with that one. He's had a great week here. And the Japanese swimmers always had a good contingent of S14 swimmers. Some big names there, Tanaka especially in lane number 7. Well, was due to take place in lane number 7 there. 800 points. Michael Schumacher now coming in with 15 to go. The Netherlands swimmer, wonder what kind of points he can register here. Time just ticking over the 3:10 mark. So Michael Schumacher probably going to be slightly less than Taka Suzuki. He is in now in 741 points, 314.27 for Michael Schumacher of the Netherlands. The result confirmed for that one. Nakajima taking it. The highest points total from heat number 3. We move on to the next heat, which is the final heat of this 200 freestyle. Here's your lineup on the scoreboard. Centre lane, Tom Hamer, world record holder.
We are off and racing our fourth and final heat of the men's 200-meter freestyle. Anuzul Amirul Sidi from Malaysia's lane 1, Z Wang Zadaran Chan, Malaysia lane 2, Robert Isaac Johnson from Iceland 2, Saturi Misaki from Japan 3, Thomas Hamer, world record holder there for Great Britain in lane 4, Dai Takaran, Japan lane 5, Connor Morrison, Great Britain lane 6, lane 7 is Long Tin Chan, Hong Kong, and Jinping Ting from Malaysia lane 8, Eng Keong Benson Tan from Singapore lane 9. As we come into the touch, Thomas Hamer leading 27.35. Just behind him, Daita Karan from Japan, 28.23. World record was broken last night by Daita Karan. So he's in on fantastic form, but Thomas Hamer coming into the 100-meter split, a full body length and a half in front. There it is, 56.78 as he pushes into the back end of this race. Really looking to make his stamp on this event, in this program.
Tom Hamer looking for that qualification standard. Need the GB relay team consideration as well, but the qualifying standard for Tom Hamer, he has to achieve a very fast 157.48, so he's trying to get that under his belt this morning. He'll have another chance tonight if he doesn't make it, but he would love to do it this morning here in the heats. 157.48, the world record only 155.88, so he's got to be pretty close to his best time ever. He set that best time winning gold in the Gold Coast for Team England just a few weeks ago, but Tom Hamer really fighting hard now. Is he going to be inside that 157.48? It's going to be very tight indeed. It's just slipped by for Tom Hamer this morning in 158.52, 942 points, and real tough standard there for the GB qualification. 158.52 for Tom Hamer, 942 points, followed home by Daita Karan. Sensational swim last night in the butterfly to set that world record. And he is in second place in that final heat, 850 points. And in third place, just 1 point separating Conor Morrison and Robert Isaac Johnson, but ahead of them was Satoru Miyazaki.
And there it is, those results have been confirmed. Thomas Hamer, 158.52, 942 points. Highest point score of this morning's heats. Daita Karan, 850. Satoru Miyazaki from Japan in third, 811 points with 204.56. Conor Morrison from Great Britain, 207.69 is 753. Just waiting for... Well, there it is, the results from this morning's heats, the men's 200-meter freestyle. They are your qualifiers for tonight's final. Thomas Hamer, Wayne Lok Tang, Yuichi Nakajima, Jordan Catchpole, Takayuki Suzuki, Daita Karan, Satoru Miyazaki, Masahiro Tanaka, lots of Japanese, very strong team here. Honvin Wong and Jack Milne, top 10. Of course, it does look like we will be having two finals this evening. So there it is, Wei Kit Choi, Tyler Inoue, Liam Spence, Conor Morrison, Robert Isaac Johnson, Kai Chun Hui, Michael Schumacher, Alex Rossa, Long Tin Chan, and Alberto Ambaza. They are your qualifiers tonight. Congratulations to all of those athletes.
After a few of the lower classes making it into the final tonight. It's good to see, mixing it up a little bit with the S14s tonight, but it promises to be such a good battle there. Gold and silver medalists from the Paralympics will be in the centre lanes tonight for that first final. Tom Hamer will be trying to achieve that qualification standard. Next event is ready to go. It's event 404.
The men's 200-meter freestyle British heats, heat 1.
Well, the first heat is underway. There's 3 swimmers in this one. James Edwards from Calne Alpha in 5, Rhys Davis in 4 from Pembrokeshire County, Joshua Fairchild from City of Coventry in lane number 3. Rhys Davis has been posting some great times here. And his entry time 204.39. Again, just one final for the national finals we've seen all week. Rhys Davis determined to be in it. Because there's only 3 heats, they're all what they would call the seeded heats. So if there are 3 heats, the fastest swimmer goes in the final heat. The second fastest swimmer goes in the second last heat, and the third fastest swimmer goes in the third last heat, and so on and so on. They're all mixed, so you don't get the fastest swimmers all in the last heat. They're all kind of seeded into different places. So Rhys Davis will be one of the fastest in terms of entry times, and will be the 3rd fastest overall. He's certainly been really, really good this week. The Welsh swimmers have really been dominating these national finals, certainly in the distance events. Dylan Broom will come in heat number 3 as well, but Rhys Davis, Pembrokeshire swimmer, going away in lane number 4. He's got a 5-second lead over James Edwards there. Joshua Fairchild about 8 seconds further behind. City of Coventry, all in the S14 class, so straight race here. And I think there is only one swimmer who's not in the S14 class in this one. He goes in the final heat. But for this first heat, 206.71, 771 points. I think that should be safe enough for him to make it to the final. Of course, it depends what happens in the heats to follow, but a good standard set in that very first heat.
And there, that is the confirmation up on your screen. Rhys Davis, Pembs County 206.71, 771 points, the benchmark point score for people to beat. Or hit that or better. Looking for tonight's final. That moves us into heat 2. And we are off and racing heat 2 of the men's 200-meter freestyle British final heats. Peter Harper, lane 1. Caleb Grace, lane 2. Cameron Verncombe, lane 3. Lane 4 is Lewis Lawler. Lane 5, Gavin Roberts. Lane 6, Adam Roebuck. Lane 7 is Owen Garsides.
Two City of Glasgow's in this one, 4 and 5. Lawler and Gavin Roberts are in the middle lanes there. Lawler out first there, 29.16. Gavin Roberts in 2nd place. And Adam Roebuck in 3rd here. Good start though, 29.16. Teeing himself up for a good time here. We saw that excellent time in the previous heat from Rhys Davis, 771 points. I just wonder if the City of Glasgow guys have got designs on that one. Well, 2 blue caps of Glasgow leading them through the halfway points. Very tight for 3rd place. And when it comes down to just one final, with only 3 heats, positions very important there. I mean, 4 swimmers there battling for 3rd place. That touch for 3rd could become vital when it comes to see who gets in that final.
Lewis Lawler way out in front by a couple of body lengths as we head into this final 150 split. Is 135.40. Gavin Roberts behind him, 139.80. And Cameron Verncombe first to the touch for that 3rd place with 143.11.
Into the last 15 now, and looks like it is Lee Lawler. He has led from start to finish here. City of Glasgow man, keep an eye on that points total, 755. Pretty close to that first heat there by Rhys Davis. But Lawler will take that one, 755. Gavin Roberts, good point score there in 2nd. And Swimmers in this national final, well, probably looking at somewhere in the 500 range probably to try and make that final. Cameron Byrne-Coombe, the high 500s. Adam Roebuck and Caleb Grace, a tie there, 524 points. They are separated by 1/100th though. Thought we were in for a swim-off there. I was getting excited.
I was about to say, you might get your swim-off. There it is, the results have been confirmed. Lewis Lawler, 2:07.59, Gavin Roberts, 2:16.31, and Cameron Byrne-Coombe, 2:18.53, 7:55, 6:19, 5:90, respectively, for those points. We have one more heat to go. Our third and final heat underway. Liam Hardy, lane 0. Ryan Potter, lane 1. George Eldridge, lane 2. Christopher Curry, lane 3. Dylan Broom, lane 4. George Kelman-Johns, lane 5. Evan Holt, lane 6. Joseph Greaves, 7. Connor Freeman, 8. And Harvey Phillips, 9. Coming into the first touch, not much in it for the first and second touch there. We've got versus Dylan Broom, 28.54, 29.13 for George Kelman-Johns as they make their way down this second 50. It's their last chance, last opportunity to push for those times and make it into tonight's final. Of course, this is multi-class event. Harvey Phillips in lane 9, our S4 swimmer. Certainly one to keep an eye on as well. And going into that 100-meter split, there it is, Dylan Broom still out in front, 59.33. George Kelman-Johns, 101.46. And just like the heat before, it looks like it's going to be a bit of a battle for that third place. As you mentioned earlier, Paul, a third place touch could be very, very important if you're going to make that top 10. Get into tonight's British final and heading into that final 150 touch, the last split, 131.08 for Dylan Broom. 136.46 for George Kelman-Johns. Dylan Broom really extending that lead as he heads into the final 25 meters. Push to the touch, looking to get himself a nice lane in tonight's final, with just 15 meters to go. And it is going to be Dylan Broom with 2:02.62, 851 points, a great swim from him. There in second, George Kelman-Johns with 2:10.50, and it looks like it's going to be lane 6 there, Evan Holt, for third, 2:29.3. 560 points there as the swimmers all coming down now to the touch. Harvey Phillips making great progress over in the far lane, lane 9, as he heads towards his final 150 split. Liam Hardy, 2:55.20. It is Connor Freeman, 3:01.15. Harvey Phillips approaching that final turn, 3:11.43, with just 50 meters to go.
Nice. On course for a decent time here. Harvey Phillips, 4:37.95, been encouraged there. It's good to see. Score so far, looks like we have, well, 4 swimmers in the 500 range and above. Another 3 in the 400 range. So it is going to be very tight here. Great encouragement there for Harvey Phillips. It's good to see.
Get behind him, ladies and gentlemen. He's approaching that final stretch. Bit of encouragement from you all always does a lot. Help bring these athletes home. Come on, Harvey, final push. It's going to be a great time.
It's nice to see Harvey Phillips there, fitted in all 4 limbs, of course, in the S4 class, and a great time for him. Yeah.
4:15.71, 325 points. Great swim from Harvey Phillips in lane 9. That concludes heat 3, just waiting for those results to be confirmed. And there you have it. Dylan Broom was out in front, 2:02.62 with 851 points. Great swim from him. George Kelman-Johns with Claysmore behind him, 2:10.50. And Evan Holt in third from Cockermouth with 2:29.3. So they've been processed. We'll see which of these athletes will be making it through to tonight's final. And there you have it. There are your qualifiers, your top 10 swimmers for tonight's British final. Dylan Broom, Rhys Davis, Lewis Lawler, George Kelman-Johns, James Edwards, Gavin Roberts, Cameron Verncombe, Evan Holt, Christopher Curry, and Joshua Fairchild. Congratulations to all of those athletes. That concludes this morning's programming for the men's and women's 200-meter freestyle competition.
There was a tie there. Look at that, 11th place.
Oh, it's so close. You almost had your swim off.
Almost, yeah. They are separated by time, so there probably shouldn't have been a swimmer for that since they are the same class. Caleb Grace just getting the ranking ahead of Adam Roebuck there. And 524 points. Let's hope there's no withdrawals. If there's a withdrawal, we have a tie on points, but I think the fastest time should qualify for that final tonight. 10 swimmers taking part in that national final. We move on to the next event, the women's 400 freestyle, and it is event 405.
We have it, our first heat underway for the women's 400-meter freestyle. Rebecca Franks in lane 1 for Great Britain. Crystal Shaw, lane 2 for Canada. Lavana Hansen for Great Britain, lane 3. Mikuyuni Itsugi for Japan in lane 4. Tomomi Ashura, for Japan in lane 5. Sophia Herzog for the United States of America, lane 6. And lane 7 is Jasmine Bürtler for Germany. Itsugi for Japan, 36.15, leading first to the touch at that first 50.
Well, we'll double the distance now, up to 400. And again, a range of classifications in this one. Sophia Herzog was the winner of the 100 breaststroke at the World Championships back in 2017 in Mexico. Second place at the moment, the American swimmer, going in lane number 6. A lot of medal in the 100 freestyle. Good freestyler, Sophia Herzog. Training with Ellie Simmons at the London Aquatic Centre. Lane number 5 going over, Tomomi Shora from Japan, the S11 swimmer who has no vision, will be wearing blacked out goggles, but leading them in these early stages here. Lane number 4, our Japanese teammate, Kuni Utsugi, the S9 swimmer from Japan. One of the youngsters here who'd made the World Para Series, just born in 2003, so just 15 years of age this year. The Japanese swimmer. And over there with a big lead in these early stages. They're just coming down to the halfway point now. You can see Utsugi in the S9 classification. Just with that impairment in her right arm, just the lower part of her right arm there. Just keeping that body pretty steady here. Keeping that breathing going in a good rhythm as she comes up to the halfway point. Entry time was 6:15. So anything under the 3-minute mark at this point is a pretty good split for a 6:15 time. 2:47.71 is a very good split here. So expect her to go in a little bit faster than that 6:15 if she can keep that pace going. Always a balancing act, of course, in the 400. Don't want to go out too fast. Sophia Herzog also going around pretty well here, 2:14. In fact, Sophia Herzog, the time not registering there as she went over at that halfway point. Sophia Herzog definitely in second position. Lavana Hansen, Great Britain in third place. A good range of disabilities here. We see the arm disability of the leader going over there at the 2:50 mark. Sophia Herzog, swimmer, short stature. Got the leg disability of Lavana Hansen in third place. So a real range of classes, range of abilities here. And we also have Ishura, a Japanese swimmer, who's a visual impairment as well. So real mixed bag in this one.
Mikuni Itsuki coming in for her 300-meter split with just 100 to go. 4:20.04. She makes her way down into that final 100. Wide spread across the pool now for placings. But as you mentioned, Paul, a wide array of classes, and it's going to come down to, obviously, the points where they touch, where they fall, their timings in their categories. It is nice to see her putting in such a battle. I mean, this was obviously an event of yours. It's something close to your heart, I'm guessing. You know what these athletes have been through. You've been through it yourself.
Oh yeah, 400 freestyle. I like the 400 freestyle. It was good. I didn't really have the power for the sprints. Not built for that.
No.
No. I did try and bulk up once, but...
Did you?
Oh, yeah.
Didn't eat enough steak.
No, that's it, yeah. 400 freestyle always good for me. Nice and lean. I like the distance events. I was able to outlast my competitors here. And looks like Utsugi is doing a great job here, the Japanese swimmer. Our entry time was 6:15. I think she's on something like a 5:52, something like that. 5:51 maybe. The Japanese swimmer. She comes down to the last half length now. It's going to be a massive improvement on her lifetime best if she can do that. 5:51 would give her something like a 24-second personal best here. And she comes into the closing stages now. It is Utsugi challenging that 5:50, actually a little bit faster than I thought. 5:47.
5:47.
Wow. Excellent.
4:36. I mean, massive swim from her. Nearly half a minute off her lifetime personal best. That's a massive drop for her. She's going to absolutely be happy with that.
Yeah, no wonder. And the smile.
After she gets her breath back. Oh, there she is, big smile. She's so happy. And the Pan Pacs obviously later in this year. A lot of these athletes preparing for that. It's good to see them getting on such good form and in the development for what's happening over the summer. We come in now for the final touch for Sophia Herzog there for the United States of America. 6:29.3, 5:64. The points.
Expect Sophia Herzog to be the highest points winner in this one. 5:64 so far. There she is. World champion in 100 breaststroke last year. Sophia Herzog training with Ellie Simmons, who comes up a little bit later. Ellie Simmons good 400 freestyler, Great Britain champion. And it's like Jasmine Butler. Yeah. Sure. Rebecca Franks as well. Rebecca Franks making her way into the World Series swimming this time. We've seen her in the national events, Rebecca Franks as well. And she is in there 214 points, 7 minutes 21.30 for Rebecca Franks.
And that concludes heat 1 of the women's 400-meter freestyle. Just waiting for those results to be confirmed. It does look like it's going to be Sophia Herzog from the United States of America with 629.3, 564 points. It's the benchmark points margin to beat.
I'll wait for the goggles to be checked of Tomomi Ishura. Blacked out goggles have to be checked after the event for the S11 swimmers, just to make sure that they comply with the regulations. And the result is confirmed there. Sophia Herzog will take that one. 620.93 was the time, 564 points was the points total. Move on now to heat number 2.
We are off and racing heat 2 of the women's 400-meter freestyle. Lane 0, Amanda Palio for the United States of America. Verena Schott from Germany, lane 1. Chikako Ono from Japan, lane 2. Lane 3, Sakura Koike for Japan. Grace Harvey, lane 4 for Britain. Alva Kelly for Ireland in lane 5. Lane 6 is Isabella Blanchard. Lane 7, Jessica Markkanen from Finland. Lane 8, Valentina Munoz from Chile. And lane 9, Renata Pinto from Portugal. Some big names, shall I say, in this heat. Verena Schott having a great week so far. She had a good old time in the skins last night as well.
Yeah, didn't like freestyle, did
Did not at all, but she enjoyed herself, you know.
I tell you who has had a good week, that Isabella Blanchard from the USA.
Of course.
Coming into this event with a couple of huge lifetime bests this week. USA team doing really well. Skins finalists as well, David Gelfand yesterday, so the USA team doing well. We saw Sophia Herzog in that previous heat. I wonder if we're going to get another USA winner in this one. Isabella Blanchard, 116.41 for the young swimmer from the USA. Again, another youngster born in 2002. So these youngsters here just taking it to the rest of them this morning. We saw in that previous heat the 15-year-old Utsugi take it out strong. We've got the 16-year-old Blanchard now taking it out strong ahead of the other Chikako Ono, another one of the S11 swimmers with no vision at all. And we'll see her there. Just coming in, you see the tapping stick there in lane number 2. It's a pretty good turn for Chikako Ono. It's real skill, this tapping. And some people, very, very long tapping sticks, so the swimmers have maybe about 3 or 4 strokes before they go in. Some people, like Chikako Ono, like to get the tap on the head and then turn almost immediately, maybe 1 stroke or half a stroke, and then they go over on the turn. But it's a very, very difficult skill for the S11 swimmers. You see Chikako Ono just there in lane number 2, just hugging the lane ropes, just flicking that lane rope and trying to keep herself in a straight line. Very difficult to do. You can try it at home if you want to see how difficult it is. Just close your eyes when you're swimming. See how difficult it is to keep in a straight line, to do a tumble turn, not to hit those lane ropes.
I mean, it's incredibly impressive. I will not be attempting that at home because I know that will go horribly wrong. It's a very impressive skill that these S11 swimmers do have. Isabella Blanchard still out in front, 1:59.45. She is being pushed by a couple of swimmers over there. We have Jessica Markkinen from Finland, not far behind. And Grace Harvey from Great Britain as well is really starting to make a move now as they head into this split. .327.91, 3:28.47 for Grace Harvey, and 3:28.17 for Jessica Markkinen.
I wonder if Grace Harvey, keep an eye on her time. She's trying to make that qualification standard for the European Championships in Ireland for the GB team. That time at 5:24.58 for Grace Harvey. Let's have a little look at her split when she goes over there, see what kind of time she's looking for. Grace Harvey has to improve on her entry time. By 7, in fact by 10 seconds, Grace Harvey. So we'll see what she is doing. She's got 4:11.47 at that 300 mark. Isabel Blanchard still with the lead, Jessica Markkinen in second. So maybe these two can push each other onto a good time. Maybe Grace Harvey as well, chasing them. Alva Kelly from Ireland in fourth place there as they stand. And Grace Harvey really digging in hard here, trying to catch the two leaders. Markkinen has overtaken Isabella Blanchard. The entry times for these two in the 5:40 range. And Grace Harvey in 5:35 range. I wonder if she can get faster than that. She's going to come back pretty fast. 42nd last 50 for Grace Harvey to get under her entry time. But it does look like a good swim from Jessica Markkinen. Finnish team have got quite a small contingent here in Sheffield in the World Para Series. Going to have a big team at the European Championships. And Markkinen has gone past Blanchard, but Blanchard is fighting back in the closing stages here. The young swimmer from the USA has had a good week, and she looks like she wants to win this one. Markkinen and Blanchard in together, and it is Markkinen, I think, just got that one. 5:31.38. And Blanchard 5:31.77. Grace Harvey 5:36.56, and I think Alba Kelly, also a good time for her, 5:42, but a good point score for Grace Harvey.
It's a great point score. 8:17 there for Grace Harvey, 7:50 for Verena Schott as well. Fantastic swim from her.
Yeah, Grace Harvey happy with that one. 817 points, the final swimmer in right at the bottom there. It's Amanda Palio for the USA, 6:10.44. And the S11 swimmer, just having a look back at Chikako Ono, 5:50.49 for her, 697 points for the Japanese swimmer. And she makes her way out. She will have her goggles checked again before this result can become official. But Grace Harvey wins that one in terms of points, 5:36.56 for Grace. And with her entry time of 5:35, she'll be hoping that 817 will be enough for her to make the final, so she can try to challenge to get in ahead of that Verena Schott and Grace Harvey. They are in the same classification now, two S6 swimmers side by side. And there's the goggles being checked for Chikako Ono.
I love that. Enjoying themselves, giving us a wave, having a good time here at Ponds Forge. Coming and showing their support. We love that. Lucky enough to be here in the audience witnessing this firsthand. There you have it. The results have been confirmed. Grace Harvey, 5:36.56, 817 points. Great swim for her. Verena Schott from Germany, 5:46.29, 7:50. have it. Heat 3 for the women's 400 meter. Lane 0, Bristow Grace from the United States of America. Marlene Endralath from Germany in lane 1. Coral Farrell for Great Britain 2. Tony Shaw and Zara Maluli also for Great Britain's lanes 3 and 4. Manon Vermeuren for the Netherlands in 5. Kira Stevens for Australia in 7. Katie Crowhurst, Great Britain in 8. And Eleanor Simmons in 9 for Great Britain.
Ellie Simmons, what a great swim she had in the 200 metres individual medley. Make that European qualification standard. She is right back on form here. Great time in the 200 IM. I wonder what she can do in the 400. The 400 was Ellie Simmons' domain, really, for a number of years. Paralympic champion, of course, a famous Paralympic victory in London in 2012, where the roof almost came off the Aquatic Centre when she won that one. Great contest for that gold medal on that day, and Ellie Simmons came out on top. She's gone out in lane number 9. We'll keep an eye on her time. Well, I was going to say she went out in 100, but that time not registering there, so just have to keep an eye on where Ellie Simmons is going. Clock showing 39.03 for 100 for Ellie Simmons. I'm not sure.
I mean,
she'd be happy with that. To
Zara Maluli also having a fantastic week. The S10 swimmer in lane 4 was first to touch there with 1:43.92. She has had a brilliant week so far, hoping to continue that through the final day of competition today. Tony Shaw also for Great Britain pushing along beside her though. There really is nothing in it at this mark as we head into the 200 split. 2:21.15 and 2:22.15 respectively. Manon Vermeuren for the Netherlands, 2:27.41, third to touch. As we head into the back end of this race. Ellie Simmons now coming down to the halfway mark of the 400. 2:02.96. I do believe that pan hasn't registered once again.
A good contest between the two Great Britain swimmers, Zara Maluli and Tony Shaw there. 2:100 separating them at that turn. They are both trying to achieve the qualification standards. Zara Maluli has got a B standard to her name, the B standard available for those who are 17 years and under. And both these swimmers qualify for that. Tony Shaw made an A standard last night in the butterfly, in the 100 butterfly, just sneaking under the time that she required there. Zara Maluli and Tony Shaw side by side here with 100 to go. And it's very close, 4 100s for Zara Maluli. She's been on record-breaking form this week, setting new British records. She'd love to get an A standard for this one. It is a very tough time for her though. 4:36.83 for Zara Maluli. Tony Shaw 4:46 here. Manon Vermeuren going well in lane number 5 for the Netherlands. Also going well, it's Marlene Endralath from Germany in lane number 1. And Ellie Simmons, well, we'll keep an eye on her, see how she goes with those the timing pads. Probably just sorting themselves out now. 4:11 for Ellie Simmons at the 300 mark. So she's on for something like a 5:30 pace for Ellie Simmons. But here, coming into the final stages now, it's Zara Maluli and Tony Shaw really being encouraged now by the crowd here. Zara Maluli just with the strength. They're different classes. Maluli the S10, Tony Shaw the S9 swimmer. Zara Maluli into the finish now, and she will get in 4:49.01. Tony Shaw just following her home. She'll be under the 4:50 mark, and I think that'll be another B standard for Tony Shaw. Manon Vermeuren in under the 3 minute. And we'll just keep an eye on the time for Ellie Simmons now. I think she's on for something like 5:30, 5:24 is the qualification time for Ellie Simmons that she wants to achieve. I'm not sure that she is going to do that this morning. Hopefully that time, the point scores, will be enough to take her into the final. She'll have another go at that one. Zara Maluli, 815 points at the moment. Here's Ellie Simmons. It's going to be over the 5:30 for Ellie. And she is in 5:35, but still decent points total, 827 points for her. It's good between the two youngsters at the front there, Zara Maluli and Tony Shaw. It looks like there's 3 GB swimmers at the top.
Of course, Ellie Simmons, Zara Maluli and Tony Shaw, 8:27, 8:15 and 7:54, respectively. Those results have been confirmed, and now brings us to Heat 4. Our penultimate heat for the World Series competition here for the women's 400-meter freestyle. Heat 4, lane 0, Hope Gordon for Great Britain, Elizabeth Slack for Australia, lane 1. Lane 2 is Abby Kane for Great Britain, Lily McLeod for Great Britain as well in lane 3. Naomi Makey-Schnecker for Germany, 4. Elodie Laurandi for France in 5. Annalay Roulet for France in 6. Michaela Jenkins, the United States of America, 7. Beth Johnson for Great Britain in 8. And Maisie Summers-Newton for Great Britain in 9. Elodie Laurandi leading into that first 100 split, 106.40. Out in front there, full body length in front of Naomi Makey-Schnecker from Germany. Of course, it is a 400. Anything can happen. Don't want to go out too fast. Lane 9 there, Maisie Summers-Newton, 125.2 coming in for her 100-meter split. Competition starting to get really fierce now. These ladies, these athletes fighting for a place in those finals tonight. Wanting to leave everything in the pool, but having to swim a fast enough time to make sure they do qualify with hopefully a fast lane and a decent seeding into tonight's finals.
Two experienced campaigners in the centre there, Laurandi and Schnittger. Laurandi, the Olympic champion back in 2012 in London. Had a birthday this week, Laurandi. I spoke to her earlier. Can't remember what age she was. She said she felt old, but it's all relative, isn't it?
Oh, certainly is. Sure, she's young compared to us.
I'm pretty sure she is. She's going pretty well, though. Birthday girl, Elodie Laurandi from France, 218.98. Still a European record holder. Set that European record back in 2013. And she's being chased now by Naomi Makey-Schnecker, world champion in the 50 and 100 freestyle last year. She won a European title way back in 2011 in Berlin, in her home country. I remember being very emotional about that one. And then Roulet, the second French swimmer in this one, goes in lane number 3. Watch out for Lily McLeod. Keep an eye on her time as well. She might have designs of making the B standard for the GB team. She's been on good form. Lily McLeod, the 17-year-old, going over in 5th place at the moment. She's a swimmer with a visual impairment. She's ahead of Abby Kane. 2 swimmers there in lanes 2 and 3 for GB. Abby Kane, just going ahead now of Lily McLeod as they come down towards this 300 mark. As they come in now, Morandi still with that lead, hoping to make sure of that place in the final. Schnittger two experienced swimmers there. Morandi will be aware of Schnittger alongside her, the S10 swimmer. Schnittger, the visually impaired swimmer, might just not be aware of where Larondi is. No, she's in the next lane, not be able to detect her there. That visual impairment, impairing the vision. She's the swim her own race, the German. She's pulling up on Larondi here as they come into this final turn. Looks like in third position, Mel Roulet from France. And it is going to be a real head-to-head battle there. Schnittger maybe the stronger. Schnittger hoping to go to the Paralympics in 2020 in Tokyo. She was born in Japan. Family moved into Germany. German family, of course, but Schnittger in lane number 4. He's going to come home ahead. It's going to be a big points total as well. Decent total for her in 923 points. It was a big total. A bit bigger than I thought it might be. Morandi in second, 843 points. Coming home in lane number 6, her French teammate, Nell Roulet, 748 points. Michaela Jenkins, 733 for the USA. Two S10 swimmers in there. Abby Kane, it's a decent swim for her, 504.72 for Abby Kane. And that points total 618. Might be enough for her to make one of the two finals tonight. Difficult to tell where the cut-off point is going to be. There's Naomi Schnittger from Germany, 444.64 for Schnittger. Winning that one. The thing about the visually impaired swimmers, John, they won't be aware of their times, not able to see that scoreboard. So hopefully they can hear us in the PA. Naomi Schnittger, 444. She'll be pleased with that one, I'm sure.
I'm just waiting for those results to be confirmed. There they are. Naomi Schnittger for Germany, 9:23. Benchmark score to be with 4:44.64. Fantastic swim from her. And Lady Laurenti from France, 8:43. So some big point scores here as we head into our final heat. It's going to be a hotly contested final tonight, I do believe. Always makes for an exciting viewing now.
Yeah, interesting to see where the points total is going to be the cut-off for that one. 733 points for 5th place. Well, maybe the 700 range is what you've got to try and get.
And with just one more heat to go, we'll know soon enough. This is Heat 5. Now that our final heat of the women's 400-meter freestyle for the World Series portion of our competition. Lane 0, Rebecca Lewis for Great Britain. Nisette Brunsma for Netherlands in lane 1. Ayano Tsuzuchi for Japan in lane 2. Bianca Pat for Hungary, lane 3. Lane 4, Aurélie Rivard for Canada. Lane 5, Rosie Bancroft for Great Britain. Lisa Kruger, Netherlands, lane 6. Iri Ike for Japan, lane 7. Alyssa Crook for the United States of America in lane 8. And Cecilia Geronimo Arujo for Brazil in lane 9.
Aurélie Rivard's going to be the top pick for this one, you would think, in lane number 4, Paralympic champion in the S10 class. Did the freestyle treble in Rio, the 50, the 100 and the 400. She was ahead. Suzuki from Japan, the visually impaired swimmer, in second there, 106.44, just 2 lanes down from Rivard. And Bianca Papp in third place, the Hungarian swimmer. I spoke to her last night, John, in the skins. Hungarian was very impressive.
I did, yeah. It certainly was. She seemed to have a really good time, though. I think that's, part of it. They come and obviously this is a very serious competition. We have qualifications for Europeans. We have all of that sort of stuff. And that's just time for the athletes to get together and have a little bit of fun. And it's certainly fun for us to watch as well.
It was fun.
We turn a 50-metre race into a distance,
right.
stamina test.
It was good. Yeah, Bianca Papp had a good time in the skins, came away with that cash prize. The skins have been great entertainment here the last couple of days. She's back in the water again for another test of her stamina in third place there at that previous turn, but it looks like she's moving into second now, Bianca Papp. Really Rivard, great champion from Canada, world record holder. World record stands at just under the 4:30 mark. He set that in Rio, 4:29.96. So Rivard not on record pace at this stage, but not a bad swim and certainly good enough to head the rest of this field in terms of time. A lot of S10s in this one. Watch out for Lisette Bruinsma as well, the Netherlands swimmer in lane number 1. I wonder what she can do. She is a very good swimmer. Lisette Bruinsma had a win the other day in the World Series, and she will have designs on world record held by the German Daniela Schulte. And I wonder how Lisette Bruinsma will approach this one. She's not too far away from world record pace, John, at that halfway point, just a second and a half. Lisette Bruinsma holds a number of records and a number of strokes. Again, one of these S11 swimmers with no vision at all, relying on the tappers for the turns. So keep an eye on the progress of the Netherlands swimmer down there in lane number 1. But Rivard looking really good there, really comfortable in lane 4, leading the field.
Way out in front for those touches for Aurélie Rivard. It's been a great week for her as well. Thoroughly enjoying her time here in Sheffield. And I know you mentioned earlier about Chikako Ono. Likes to be tapped just as she turns, as you can see here. Lisette Bruinsma gets that tap, still has another stroke or two before she does that turn. It really does come down to the individual athlete, what they feel comfortable with, how they know their body, know the pool, and the timings when it comes to those turns. It's a fascinating thing to watch.
Well, she's gone over it there. I'm not sure if that 3:56 for Lisette Bruinsma there, and she's still about a second or so outside that world record pace. Daniela Schulte, when she set the world record back in 2010, went over in 3:54.6. So Lisette Bruinsma, well, we might be on for something special. Certainly on for a very big points total for Lisette Bruinsma in lane number 1. Rivard into the wall now. A huge points total for her as well. Paralympic champion, world record holder, 928 points. We'll have to wait for a little while before Lisette Bruinsma comes in, because she is probably going to be the most likely to challenge that 928 points. The Dutch swimmer in lane number 1. Well, Aurélie Rivard, 4:36 there, held home by Bianca Papp and Rosie Bancroft. There's Rivard, but here comes Bruinsma now. This is going to be a very big points total here in lane number 1. Lisette Bruinsma into the wall now, and her time is 5:15.95, and it is a bigger points total than Rivard, 952 points for the Dutch swimmer in the S11 class, and that was a very good swim indeed for her. And a couple of seconds or so just to improve to get into that world record stage. But Lisette Bruinsma, well, it looks like it was hard work for the Dutch swimmer, but a good swim for her, and a time of 5:15.95 for Lisette. She was right bang on world record pace as they went through there. So 2 scores in the 900-point range. This is going to be a very competitive final here. Again, the goggles will have to be checked from Lisette Bruinsma before the result is confirmed. As you say, John, real skill for these S11 swimmers.
Once those goggles are confirmed, is confirmed that they are completely blacked out, those results can be confirmed. Congratulations to Lizette, fantastic swim there, like you say, 9:52. She really did put everything into that. You could see trying to catch her breath after it. There it is, the results are in, and that was our 5th and final heat of the World Series heats for the women's 400-meter freestyle. What that does now is takes us through to our British national final heats. We do have 4 of these. And there it is, those results are confirmed. They are the swimmers that have made it through to the finals tonight. 9:52, Lisette Brinsma are out in front there for the Netherlands, 5:15.95. Aurélie Rivard, Canada, 4:36.77 with 9:28. Naomi Mackay for Germany, 4:44.64 with 9:23. And Elodie Laurandi for France, 4:44.74 with 843. Eleanor Simmons, though, for Great Britain, qualified 5th, 5:35.26 with 8:27. Bianca Papp, Grace Harvey, Zara Maluli, Maisie Summers-Newton and Rosie Bancroft. Set to be a fun final tonight. So make sure you tune in and at home and watch that one. Get yourselves down here to Sheffield and watch it live.
Yeah, excellent. We've got another final as well, 2 finals in the 400, so those next 10 swimmers will also be in there. And Coral Farrell looks like she's just missed out on that final place. Have to rely on someone withdrawing for this afternoon's final, which does happen. So Coral Farrell will have to wait to see if she has another swim tonight. That's a summary for the 400 Freestyle World Series. We move on to the national events now, and this is heat number 1 of the 4 heats.
We have it, the first of our British national finals. Yeah, heat 1, Charlotte McGuinness for Harrogate in lane 3, Lauren Sanders for Warrington, lane 4, and Ellie Spokes for Northampton, lane 5. Now it is the first of 4 heats here for this British national final heats competition. There will only be 1 final tonight, so it will be top 10 swimmers. The top 10 swimmers from the next 4 heats qualifying to tonight's finals. So quite stiff competition, sort of make it into that final. These athletes really going to have to be pushing hard, making sure they do hit a good time. Get a nice score. Is Lauren Sanders out in front first at the touch, 52.28. Ellie Spokes on 56.22. And Charlotte McGuinness, 57.55 at the first split.
I'll keep an eye on the split, see how we're going through here. First 100, generally the fastest of the 400s here. We'll get an idea if we go down past the halfway point. Lauren Sanders from Warrington, 52.28 for that first 50. We'll see what she does in this 100. She's in the S7 classification. She's the oldest of the swimmers in this one. 2 youngsters either side of her. Charlotte McGuinness, born in 2001, so 17 years of age this year. Also Ellie Spokes, one of the crop of swimmers from Northampton. We've seen Maisie Summers-Newton, we see Ellie Robinson, we've got Ellie Spokes now making an appearance in these World Para Series events. And sometimes, John, you just need one swimmer to start the ball rolling and other swimmers follow in their footsteps, or in their strokes, we should say.
Very true. Lauren Sanders there, 2:48.68. She approaches the halfway mark of this race.
Looks like she's doing about a minute for each of the 50s there. So if she continues that, she should be inside her time of 7:52. Keep an eye, she's gone 1:48 at the bottom end, she's 2:48 at the top end. See if she's 3:48 when she gets to this bottom end. That makes it easy for us to calculate. We like those type of maths. And Sanders coming into that turn now. See if she can continue there. 3:48, yeah, bang on cue.
There we go. This is going to be good for us because maths,
definitely.
to be honest, isn't my strong point.
Oh, I'm not bad at that. Being an accountant.
Oh, I like that. You can do the heavy lifting on that.
It's a good contest for these other two, though, isn't it? At least
It is. It's neck and neck the whole way through. Ellie Spokes and Charlotte McGuinness, as you say, the youngsters. And the second half, the back end of this race. Lauren Sanders approaching that 2:50 mark.
Some of the swimmers in this 400 freestyle, of course, will try and just do a steady rhythm all the way through the 400. Others will try and maybe pick it up at certain points during the race, maybe in the second half or in the final 100, or maybe just go out a little bit slower and maybe build it over the 400. So a range of tactics here, but it looks like Lauren Sanders employed the tactic of going a very steady pace for all her 50s here, because that is another one, 4:48. So we were 1:48, 2:48, 3:48, and now 4:48. Very consistent stuff there for Lauren Sanders, definitely in a very good rhythm. And as I said, if she continues that, she's going to get under that 7:52. So it's a good swim so far for Lauren Sanders. She'll be coming up to the 300 mark. And I wonder, is she going to revert to type gear 5 at 48 is the target as she gets down to that bottom end? Ellie Spokes and Charlotte McGuinness. Charlotte McGuinness maybe just with the edge there over Ellie Spokes, but I'm sure Ellie Spokes will have something in the tank towards the end of this one. I wonder if she can just see Charlotte McGuinness a couple of lanes across. She's breathing to that side. Look at that, 5:48. Good.
Into the final 100. It does look like Charlotte McGuinness is going to come into this, this touch here, just in front. As you can see, you mentioned, swimmers holding consistency and keeping pace, or others at a push. It looks like Charlotte was the latter there, has really started to sort of try and make her move now and push forward as she comes into this final 100. Starting to pick up that stroke rate and really push forward. Seems to be paying off for her. Each individual strategy has to suit each individual athlete.
I've discussed that with her coaches, no doubt. Charlotte just a little bit of a spurt. The arm stroke was picking up there. She came off that wall, and I think the arm stroke of Lauren Sanders is picking up. Oh, she's just dropped off pace, 6:49, but only by a few 100s, 6:49.0.
Not a lot, let's be honest.
We'll let her off with that. I'm sure she'll have something in the tank here for the final 50. But Charlotte McGuinness and Ellie Spokes got a little bit of work to do to get on terms with Charlotte McGuinness, two swimmers in the S6 class, side by side. Let's hope Lauren Sanders can keep this pace going. She's been incredibly consistent throughout this 400, and I wonder if she can just dip under that time of 7:52.77. I think she might get something in the range of, let's say 6:48 for Lauren Sanders. Let's hope it is. She can improve that entry time by 4 seconds. But here she comes in the pink cap, the Warrender swimmer here into the end, and she's picking up the pace now. She is going to be faster than 7:48, I think. Very good last 50, and it's 7:45. Well done, Lauren Sanders. Well, her splits were just about exactly a minute all the way through that one, just maybe a minute and a tiny little bit. And here are the other two swimmers just coming into the end.
Charlotte McGuinness really, really picking up that pace now, that final stretch. We watched her do it over the last 100 meters. As she approaches that 5, she's pulled forward now away from Ellie Spokes. A couple of body lengths in front as she comes into that touch. 8:22.56 for Charlotte McGuinness, and Ellie Spokes 8:25 even with 2:42 points total. Congratulations to those athletes. There are those results confirmed for Heat 1.
Lauren Sanders improving that entry time.
She looks very happy. She was getting, I mean, she's got to be happy with that. I mean, that sort of strategy, you go out as, you know, an athlete, you have this idea, and of course, you hope it all goes to plan and things like that, but it all can change when you get in the water. She managed to hold that consistently all the way through and take a nice chunk off her personal best.
Yeah, she'll be pleased with her
Can't really
splits.
ask for more.
Yeah. Absolutely, her splits will be good when she gets out there and her coach goes over those times with her. She'll be delighted with that, the consistency that she had. So the Heat 1 swimmers just exiting the water now. We can move on now to Heat number 2. So Heat number 2 underway. Elizabeth Foster from Haverton Waterlooville goes in lane number 0. Anna Binns from Orion in lane number 1. Genevieve Hunter from Beachfield in lane 2. Scarlett Humphrey from Northampton in lane 3. Eva French Nuneaton in lane number 4. Fabian Andre from Mid Sussex in lane number 5. Georgia Howell from Littlehampton in lane number 6. Isla Howe from Nova Centurion in 7. Emily Jane Surgeoner from Orion in lane number 8. Laura Pilkington from Broxburn in lane number 9. So, first to the wall, Scarlett Humphrey from Northampton, swimmer in the S12 class, swimmer with a visual impairment. The 2 S12 swimmers leading them through. Anna Binns from Orion in lane number 1 with that orange cap. Yeah, but pretty close in the early stages here. Looks like lane number 3 still with the lead there. Scarlett Humphrey as they come to the first 100. Not sure if this one, John, is going to be quite as easy for us to calculate this time. A little bit faster.
To be fair, I'm not even going to attempt it. You know, we shall see. With just 5 to go, it's going to be the first 100 split. As you said, not much in it at all for most of the field here as we come into that first 100. There it is. Scarlett Humphrey from Northampton, 136.84. Georgia Howell for Littlehampton, 137.28. Of course, it is a 400, so this could all change as we head into the rest of the race.
Yeah, pretty close in terms of second position there. Scarlett Humphrey just with the lead. She's holding on to that one. Again, Scarlett Humphrey, well, I'm seeing some good young swimmers here. Scarlett Humphrey, born in 2005, so just 13 years of age this year. But the swimmer next to her in lane number 4 was Eva French, and she was born in 2007. So a real 11-year-old here taking the start here in lane number 4. She's in 3rd place at the moment, also 11 years of age. There's Emily Jane Surgeoner out there in lane number 8. Watched her dad make the final of the breaststroke, former Paralympic swimmer Robin Surgeoner. She's also doing a 400 today. So the Surgeoners doing well in these national competitions. First place, so Georgia Howell has taken the lead. Georgia Howell, remember her last year in the national competition, Christmas Nationals. Have a very good haul of medals take away with her. So Georgia Howell going very well at the halfway point. Georgia Howell, she was second place. She's kind of picked up the pace now. She goes over halfway at 3:20.85. So on for a good time at this stage. Eva French, the 11-year-old, in second place. Scarlett Humphrey down to third now.
Placings in the field changing as we head into that 250 split. Georgia Howell still out in front, 4:12, 4:6. Eva French, the 11-year-old from Nuneaton, in second, 4:15.15. And Genevieve Hunter for Beachfield has now snuck up into third place at that 250 mark with 4:18.60. Does look like it might be a battle for third. Of course, as we mentioned in the previous races, in the British final heats, the British national final heats like this, that third place could mean the difference between a place in the final and not. So it really is going to be a hard push as we head into this final 100 meters. Georgia Howell still out in front, holding on to that lead. At the 300 turn, 5:04.42.
Looks like she's on for somewhere around about the 6:40 mark for Georgia Howell. 6:53 entry time. She'll be pleased with that if she can hit the 6:40. Just under. And lane number 4, Eva French, going really well. And she will be pleased with her progress at the moment. She's going to try and fight to get back on level terms with Georgia Howell. Eva French, the S10 swimmer with a minimal impairment. Georgia Howell, swimmer in the S6 class, so she is going to have a big points total. Georgia Howell coming up to this final turn now. So very close for third. Genevieve Hunter going well in lane number 2, supported by the Beachfield supporters, I'm sure. I'm sure they'll be watching home on the live stream. Genevieve Hunter doing well so far. There she goes over now in lane number 2 in third place, just ahead of Anna Binns. But here is Georgia Howell. Can she get somewhere in the 5:40 range? Looks like she around about, 6:45-ish for Georgia Howell. She's coming down to the final stages now. You see the two swimmers heading the field. Eva French there, the 11-year-old in lane number 4 in the yellow lanes. Georgia Howell pushing on here, really going well in the closing stages now. She might actually just get under that 6:40. No, not quite. Just over the 6:40 for Georgia Howell at 6:40.76. And that was an excellent swim from her. And also a very good swim from Eva French. 6:44 for her. So big improvements from the first two swimmers. And a real contest for second, which is won by Genevieve Hunter. 6:53 for Jenny Hunter, ahead of Anna Binns, 6:57. So Jenny Hunter really picked up well in that final 50. Laura Pilkington in the outside lane will be the final swimmer to finish. Good support for Laura as she comes in lane number 9. Laura Pilkington in there in 7:33.78. So she did well. Laura Pilkington earlier in the week and in the 100 freestyle with a good time, an improvement on her entry time, and she's improved again, Laura Pilkington. 7:35 the entry time and a 7:33 swim. So well done, Laura. Final swimmer to finish and an improvement on the entry times.
There we have it, those results have been confirmed 484 now the benchmark points mark to beat. Brings us on to heat 3. We have it, heat 3, our penultimate heat for British Nationals final for the final tonight, the women's 400 meter freestyle. Sally Phillips, lane 0 from Gloucester. Charlotte Hyde, lane 1 from Camden Swiss. Abigail Daly, lane 2, Devonport. Maya Briscoe for Staines in lane 3. Drew Stables, Cockermouth, lane 4. In 5, it's Rachel Tweedy from Marple. Madeline Harris from Elmbridge in lane 6. Lane 7, Erin Swan from Bells Hill. Lane 8, Rachel Partington from Manchester Aquatics. And in lane 9 is Eliza Humphrey. Drew Stables has taken the lead in the early stages of this 400 meter freestyle. Not far behind her, though, Rachel Tweedy from Marple, 35.67 and 36.36 at the 50. Now approaching the 100. Of course, as we saw in the last race, this could all change. 1:15.85 for Drew Stables, 1:17.35 for Rachel Tweedy. Quite a wide spread of categories in this race. From S7s, S9s, S14s, S10s, S12s. So it really is going to come down to the points when they come in. I'm not going to be able to judge it too much, but it's fantastic to see these hard pushes from these athletes as they try to make those points margins to get into the final tonight. Down to that 150 mark. Drew Stables still out in front. Very strong, holding a steady pace. 1:57.82. Rachel Tweedy 2:02.76. Currently in third. Abigail Daly from Devonport 2:08.50.
We'll just keep an eye on the splits to come down to the halfway point. Drew Stables there. Looks like he's stretching a lead. 5 seconds it was at the top end. Looks like that lead is extending all the time. Drew Stables, the S10 swimmer. Was over at the halfway point in 2:39.66. Something like a 1:24, so we should be looking to continue that pace. Our entry time of 5:27, so pretty much on that pace now. You add in 2 minutes 48 onto that one, you get to 5:27. A little bit of a spurt at the end, and you might see her dipping under the 5:27 if she is just maintaining this one. Rachel Tweedy in second, 10 seconds a gap, so the gap increasing by 5 seconds after every 50 here. At the moment, Rachel Tweedy, the S14 classification swimmer, just trying to hold off the challenge of Maya Briscoe in lane 3 and Abigail Daly in lane number 2 there. Abigail Daly moving through into 3rd place there. She will go over that red cap Devonport swimmer. Maya Briscoe going over in lane number 4. Down to the 300 mark. Let's see if Drew Stables has maintained this pace. We're looking for somewhere around about the 4:03 possibly. She's going to do this one. Drew Stables going over now in 4:05.11. So she slipped slightly, right around about a second. She's going to have to bring it back strongly in the last 100. She's going to get under that 5:27.82. She might still be able to do it, Cockermouth swimmer, but it's going to have to be a faster last 100 than that previous one. Drew Stables now coming up to her final turn. 2nd place still Rachel Tweedy. The gap increased to 18 seconds now between 1st and 2nd. Abigail Daly still in 3rd. Maya Briscoe trying to challenge, trying to come back now from 4th position. But Drew Stables is over that final turn, 4:48. A little bit to the legs in this final 50. The kick beginning to increase. Trying to power her way down to the wall. She's going to be very close to her entry time of 5:27.82. 25 metres to go, those red markers at the halfway point. The smaller red markers are the 15-metre mark. So she's coming into the end now. The clock ticking over at 5:20. It is going to be very close to that entry time of 5:27.82 for Drew Stables, just outside, I think, 5:29.73 for the Cockermouth swimmer. And in 2nd place, well, Abigail Daly really picked up there. She might just head Rachel Tweedy, but Rachel Tweedy from Marple has maybe got the edge as they come into the red zone in the last 5. It will be Rachel Tweedy, 5:50.86. So well done for Rachel. She's ahead of Abigail Daly, and that was a great time for Abigail Daly, improving from 6:14 to 5:51. So an improvement of some 23 seconds there for the Devonport swimmer. That's amazing stuff in that heat of the 400. She's put herself in contention for another swim tonight. Just behind Rachel Tweedy, Charlotte Hyde with also a big point score, the Camden Swiss swimmer in lane number 1, 557 points, but still swimmers to complete the distance in the outside lane. We have Sally Phillips in lane 0 right at the bottom, and right at the top Northampton swimmer Eliza Humphrey, visually impaired swimmer, coming in lane number 9 right now. And right at the bottom, here comes Sally Phillips. Sally Phillips coming in. Touch now just about 7 minutes. 6:57.41. And good swim from Drew Stables at the front there. Not quite the highest points, Emma.
And those results have been confirmed. Charlotte Hyde, 5:57. That is the points benchmark to beat. Drew Stables not far behind though, 5:49, and Rachel Tweedy from Marple, 5:50.86 with a point score of 4:41. With just one heat left to go. And there is your start lists.
Heat 3 finished. We can now move on to heat number 4.
Heat number 4 underway. Lane 0, Samantha Lewis for Satellite. Ella Cooper-Holmes for Cockermouth. Lane 2, Seren LeConte from RCT Squad. And in lane 3, lane 4 is Harry Dickinson. Lane 5, Eleanor Bamber. Lane 6, Portia Jones. 7 is Isabel Dean. 9 is Catherine Healy. Versus the touch, Harry Dickinson, the S10 swimmer from Gloucester with 35.92. Just behind her, Eleanor Bamber, 37.97 in second. And third of the first 50, Portia Jones from Shrewsbury, 38.53.
I'll give the support for Ella Cooper-Holmes in the stand. I used to always enter these competitions, John, as Grace Cooper-Holmes. And her mum used to say, she always used to get funny looks because she always said, "Come on, Ella." She's known as Ella. I always used to enter as Grace. She enters as Ella now, so her mum doesn't look quite so silly in the stands. Shouting out for Ella. She's doing well. She did well the other day, didn't she? Just
really
picked for the national final in terms of points. She's an S7 swimmer. Watch out for the points for her.
Absolutely, working towards making that final tonight. But as you say, she has had a cracking week so far, so hopefully she can continue that right the way through this final day of competition. As she comes down now to the 150 mark, see where we stand at those split times. Harry Dickinson touching at 155, still out in front, the S10 swimmer in lane 4.
You've seen a lot of these national finals, generally Harriet Dickinson being the front of the field. Yes, 10 swimmers swim with a minimal impairment. A number of swims here, we've seen her right out in front here, an entry time of 5:13.49. She'd like to edge closer to that 5-minute mark, I'm sure. Just check the splits here for Harriet Dickinson. She comes down to the halfway in time 2:35.41. She's going around about 120s. So that's not too hard for us to calculate, John. 120s. That'll be in about maybe about 5:15-ish. Do you agree?
Well, I'm trusting you implicitly on this one. As stated before, definitely not my strong suit. See, we've got our para-swimming guru next to me, Paul, and an accountant that makes the maths. I mean, you make my job very easy. I love it. Coming into that touch there, Harriet Dickinson, 3:16.52. Just 150 to go.
300 mark at this point. Eleanor Bamber in second place now. Just going over. Oh, she's being challenged there by Seren LeConte. Seren LeConte has gone into second now, just as I say that. Eleanor Bamber in third now. Just keep an eye on Ella Cooper-Holmes going over with that green cap in lane number 2. Ella Cooper-Holmes in 5th place, but watch out for the points total. The metronome that is Harriet Dickinson going over there in 3:58. She actually picked it up slightly. Yeah, for Harriet Dickinson. In fact, no, she's dropped off her pace. She's around about 122 for that 100 there. So if she does another 122, she's somewhere in the 5:20 range, Harriet Dickinson. But tough swim out on your own there. No one for company in the front of the field for Harriet Dickinson. Big lead for the Gloucester swimmer of something like 25 metres as she comes to her final turn. Harriet Dickinson, 4:40.64. We are maybe just about on that range for 5:20, possibly just under 5:20. Good swim from Seren LeConte in the second half of this 400. Again, someone who has just picked up the pace as they've gone into the second 200 there. She's gone ahead of Eleanor Bamber. And Ella Cooper-Holmes, again, maybe on her way to a good time 6:09 was her entry time. I wonder if she can challenge that 6-minute mark. Here comes Harriet Dickinson into the finish. She is in 5:21.48. So 5:21.48 ends her 592 points. Second place, it looks like lane number 3, Seren Lecomte, with that very good second half of that one, the Welsh swimmer. Of the 2 swimmers in the RCT squad taking part of these championships. 5:44 for her. Just about, well, only a tenth of a second outside her entry time. There's Harriet Dickinson there. I wonder if Ella Cooper-Holmes can come in front now in terms of points. She's coming in lane number 2 now with that entry time of 6:09. It's going to be just about on that, maybe just past 6:09 for Cooper-Holmes, and 525 points. Not quite enough to get ahead of Harriet Dickinson, but should be enough to claim her place in the final.
Just 2 swimmers left to touch. Samantha Lewis there, 6:44.1 for Satellite. 2:86 now. Final swimmer Catherine Healy. Let's get behind our swimmers, ladies and gentlemen. Let's get behind her as she comes in for a touch. There it is, 6:06, 6:56.85, sorry, 2:94. That does conclude the women's program for this morning. We still have, obviously, the men's heats to get through. Those results are confirmed. So our next page of results that you will see will be the top 10 times, points totals. These swimmers making it through to tonight's British national final. We are Harriet Dickinson, first 5:92, Charlotte Hyde, 5:57, Drew Stables, 5:49, Ella Cooper-Holmes, 5:25, Georgia Howell, Eleanor Bamber, Seren Lecomte, Rachel Tweedy, Abigail Daly, and Maya Briscoe will be the 10 athletes you'll see back in the pool tonight. Congratulations to those athletes.
There's the next 20. Portia Jones just missing out. As the swimmers exit the water, we see the next 10 down to 30th place. And final swimmer number 31 there. It's Elizabeth Foster in terms of points. Well, that's the end of the women's races. We now move on to the men. I'll hand you over for heat number 1.
We have our first heat underway in the men's program for the 400-meter freestyle. Joao Campos from Portugal, lane 3. Roberto Rodriguez, Brazil, lane 4. Javier Coma Arana for Spain in 5. And Rita Silva for Brazil in 6. Rita Silva, our S9 swimmer there in lane 6. First to touch, 32.02 at 50 mark. Joao Campos from Portugal, 35.92. Behind him, Javier Arana in 48.9, and Roberto Rodriguez, 43.62, the first 50.
We're back to the World Series again. After that national event, so the World Series first heat. There's just the 4 swimmers here, and Da Silva from Brazil, taking them through, the S9 swimmer. And he leads in 107.86. Da Silva, one of the 2 Brazilians in this one. Roberto Rodriguez The other one, the Spanish swimmer, Javier Carmo Arana, and João Campos from Portugal completing the lineup. We've got two S6s in the middle. We've got João Campos from Portugal in the bottom lane there, an S7. Ruta Silva way and clear here at the front. Brazilian. He's going to go over at halfway with a commanding lead. Ruta Silva, well, medalist in the major championships here. Not sure why he's taking part in this very first heat. The heat's seeded on times. So he's a swimmer capable, certainly, of a lot faster than swimmers in these early heats. But Ruta Silva is an integral part of the Brazilian relay team. Brazil got an excellent relay team. They've got three real world stars. And Roberto Rodrigues from Brazil in lane number 4, in second place at the moment. But Ruta Silva makes up the quartet in the freestyle relay with Andre Brazil, Felipe Rodrigues and Daniel Diaz. So the real star names of the Brazil team. Three guys who are multiple medalists at the big championships, form a formidable relay squad. They need someone else to make up that 4. And Ruta Silva has been the man in recent years who has done that. He's gone over 2:19.87 at the halfway point. So we'll look for him to post at a time. He doesn't have an entry time. We don't have anything to gauge that against. Obviously a late entry for this one, so he's been slotted in to the first heat of this one, where there's a little bit of a gap in the lanes. But Ruta Silva is going to go over at the 300 mark. I don't know what his time is going to be there. We'll gauge the kind of pace that he's going. Maybe around about 112 or so. Yeah, 111 and a half, 112 there for that last 100. So we're in something in the 440 range for the Brazilian.
I've had a look through the heats. I'm not 100% certain on this, but by the looks of things, it does look like there will only be 2 two finals tonight for the World Series in the men's 400-meter freestyle. Don't quote me on that, but by the looks of things, that's the way it's going. So these athletes will be battling it out for the top 20 places, as opposed to the 30. So pressure is on, because it does look like it's just under the cutoff of 3. So we'll see how that plays out, but a lot more sort of stiff competition, because there's 10 less places.
And Silva, one of those ones, but 4:40. Not sure if that's maybe going to challenge the top 20 places. Ruta Silva, it's going to be just about that 4:40 mark we thought he might be, maybe just over. He comes into final couple of strokes there, and he's in 4:41.35 for the Brazilian. Second place swimmer is quite some way behind, as you might expect in this early heat. And that is his countrymate, Roberto Rodrigues. Arana from Spain in 3rd place. So everything getting really stretched out in this first heat. Roberto Rodrigues, another experienced campaigner, Brazilian. He went to Rio in 2016, represent Brazil in his home games. He 3 times been to the World Championships as well, 2010, 2013 and 2015. So Roberto Rodrigues going over that final turn there for him. He is 6th swimmer. Not sure if he'd challenge that time, or that point score, I should say, of Ruta Silva. Roberto Rodrigues in this first heat. And he's coming home to make it a Brazilian 1-2. Again, a number of big swimmers to come in this 400 freestyle. A number of swimmers looking for qualification standards as well for the GB team. It should be very close racing as we move through the heats. 6 heats, as you said, John. And there is 456 points, 6 minutes 13.92, Looks like Arana from Spain. He's coming in now. He'll be lower points total than his S6 competitor next to him, Javier Arana, 408 points. And still one swimmer in the water, João Campos from Portugal in the S7 class. And Portuguese team building towards those European Championships. The last European Championships, European Open, was in Portugal, it was in Madeira. And the man who did the skins last night for Portugal, David Graxa, is their only medalist at that championships. He'll be back again, try and win another European medal for Portugal. He's very patriotic, David Graxa, as we saw from his skins interview last night.
He most certainly is. Put in one for swim as well. Well, that is the conclusion of Heat 1. There are the results. Rita Silva out from Brazil, 4:41.35. 7:01 is the points benchmark for the rest of these athletes to be getting that or better. 7:01. So with those results confirmed, it's now on to Heat 2. There we are, Heat 2, off and racing in the men's 400-meter freestyle. Julien Vieux from France. Kayasuke Oyama from Japan is 1. Islam Tokiev from Belgium, lane 2. Daniel Videra from Portugal, lane 3. Simon Pradanovic from Germany, lane 4. Taliesin Glock, Brazil, 5. Patrick Flanagan, Ireland, 6. 7 is Yoav Valensky from Israel. 8 is Chetan Grinter-Rut from India. And 9 is Connor Giuffrida from the United States of America. So they've completed their first 50. Make their way down, second 50 into the 100. Currently have Chetan from India out in front over there in lane 8. He's being pushed by Islam Dokiev from Belgium over here in lane 2. S8 swimmer, coming out a good time, 1:14.01.
As I said in one of the earlier races, John, I was speaking to the Indian coach last night. He was saying he has a team of 5 here at these championships in Sheffield. He's got a bigger team going to Berlin next week, but a team of 5 are not going to Berlin. It's a different set of swimmers because 4 of the 5 swimmers are going straight from here in Sheffield down to Dover for a couple of months. And they're going to be training for a channel swim.
Oh, really?
A channel relay swim with the Indian para swimmers will take place in July. So if you're anywhere near Kent and Dover at that time, yeah, exactly. Come welcome them in.
Welcome them in as they come to arrive. That's quite fantastic, though. I love that.
Yeah, great challenge for these Indian swimmers. There's been a few para teams that have done it in the past. Can't remember an Indian team doing that one, but they're down to Dover. They're going to be training. I'm not sure what that will entail. I'm sure they'll be getting into the sea. Not sure how far out they'll go. But the Indian team looking forward to that challenge. And I'm sure that Chetan Grinter-Rut will be one of the swimmers that will be taking part in that challenge there.
Part of that. And I know you sort of mentioned talking to him, developing those teams and the development of the Indian program. has been quite exciting sort of recently, and there's been changes there and big changes, and I'm excited to see what's to come for them in time.
Yeah, that's right. They've always had the one or two para-athletes, but not too many. But with 5 swimmers here and another 16, I think he said, going to Berlin next week, then we've got a big squad, big group to choose from. And I'm sure we'll see the Indian teams building up in the future. And they had a representation at the Commonwealth Games as well. They had a big representation in the Delhi Commonwealth Games in the para events and the para swimming, which you might expect. But after that, it seemed to just fall away slightly, and 1 or 2 swimmers kind of were the standard bearers for the Indian squad. But looks like they've got a good batch now. Hopefully that channel swim will attract some attention to them as well, give them a little bit of publicity, maybe get some more Indian swimmers into the programme as well. Belgium as well with Dokayev. He is looking pretty solid there as he goes over with 100 to go. Just under the 4-minute mark at the 300-metre range. Chetan Girdarau from India, still in second place, still clear in second, but lane number 3, Daniel Videira from Portugal, just beginning to close things down there. In the centre, looks like Thaleson Glock from Brazil, experienced Brazilian swimmer, maybe one of the top point centres, but Patrick Flanagan coming back very strongly. The S6 swimmer from Ireland, heading towards his home European Championships in the summer. Ireland got a good record in S6 400 freestyle. Darren McDonald was the Paralympic champion in that event back in Beijing. Medalist for the Irish team in the Paralympic Games. Ireland always picked up a medal in Paralympic swimming, right back from the 80s. Every Paralympic Games they've managed to pick up a medal, yeah.
It's a fantastic bit of trivia there. I did not know that.
Ellen Keane kept the run going. Every single one in the swimming pool. The Irish team have done it, at least 1 medal. Bronze for Ellen Keane, kept the run going. Here's Dokayev coming into the finish now. And 5:24.80. Gets in ahead of Chetan Girdarau from India. 5:28.07. In second place there, Daniel Videira from Portugal, S6 swimmer. He's first of the 3 S6s, and that's the biggest points total so far. Valinsky from Israel, another S6 swimmer, European medalist in the past. 5:52.55, so looks like 6:45 to me. He's going to take that second heat.
Just waiting for those results to be confirmed. And there you have it, the results are in. Daniel Videira from Portugal, 5:33.08 is 6:45. Highest points total of that heat. Still not quite taking it to the top. 7:01, still the benchmark. Our points total to beat, but that brings us to heat 3. Right, heat 3 of the men's 400-meter freestyle. Lane 0, Roderick Sewell for United States of America. Lane 1, Enzo Verpoix for France. Jonathan McGrath for Ireland in lane 3. Lane 4 is Tias van Huygen for the Netherlands. Lane 6, Ricardo Suarez for Portugal. Kilian Jackie Lucia for Belgium in 7. 8 is Kaimar Kalma for Estonia. And 9 is Tom Maxelberger for Germany. A variety of categories swimming in here. Got quite a few S8s. Lane 7, 6, 3 and 0. Lane 1, 7. S7 in lane 1, sorry. S6 in lane 4. S9 in 9. And a 12 in 8. So it will, of course, come down to that points total. It won't be till all of those athletes are in. We'll know exactly where it stands. But coming into that first 100, times-wise, it is Kaimar Kalma for Estonia, 109.32 at the first 100. Jonathan McGrath for Ireland, 112.56 in third. And Huygen for the Netherlands in 115.40.
Van Huygen is going to be probably the man to beat in terms of points. He has Olympic silver medalist from Rio in this event. He's going to be tough to beat on points. Goes over now in lane number 4. We saw him European Championships 2016. The Dutch team re-emerged. Some great young swimmers coming through over the last couple of years. Really building up their team as well. Jonathan McGrath going well though. In lane number 3, the Irish swimmer, and Kaimar Kalma, the Estonian swimmer. Really strong at the end of the 100 butterfly yesterday, winning a close contest in his heat. I remember him swimming very strongly in the closing stages of that one. He leads in 2:25.17. Jonathan McGrath going well in second position. The Irish swimmer, the one Irish contingent building towards Dublin in the summer. I'm sure he'll be keen to perform well in his home games. Experienced man from Ireland. Went to the Paralympic Games in 2012. He's also been to 3 World Championships as well, and European Championship in 2014. So Jonathan McGrath hoping to make another European Championships to his name. He is going well here. As they come down to the 300 mark now. Kaimar Kalma is the man in the lead. I wonder if he can hold that, because Johnny McGrath is going really well here. Really picking up, and Johnny McGrath, the S8 swimmer, some impairment in his lower limbs. Kaimar Kalma, the visually impaired swimmer. McGrath has really pulled away from the others here. It was a close contest in the early stages, but these two leaders have gone away from the rest of the field. Enzo Verpio and Roderick Soule from France and the USA, respectively, having a private tussle there in lane 1 and 0, right down at the bottom. But Johnny McGrath is trying to come back now on Kaimar Kalma. McGrath with that entry time there of 5:17.36. Wonder if he's going to challenge that one. It'd be good for him to get inside that if he possibly can. Kaimar Kalma has shown great strength again, as we thought he might at the end of this heat, and he is going to get in somewhere around about the 5-minute mark, so it could be a good swim from Johnny McGrath as well. 4:58.55 for Kalma, great time for him, and McGrath in 5:01.71. So he'll be pleased with that one, because that is faster than his entry time of 5:17. So good swim from the Irish swimmer, and a good swim from the Estonian as well. 4 swimmers coming in together. Enzo Beppio with the highest points total of everyone so far, 5 minutes 20 for the French swimmer in the S7 class, 664 points. Well, apologies, Ties van Hoefwegen in there, 526.33, and the Paralympic silver medalist, as we thought he might be, will be the top points earner, 686. So Netherlands look like they are going to head this heat, and there is Ties van Hoefwegen taking that one in 526.33.
Well, that concludes Heat 3. Those results have been confirmed. 686 still. 701 from Ruta Silva from Heat 1 is the points margin to beat. But the 600 mark seems to be around about what people will be needing to make it through to those finals tonight. And that's the halfway mark. We've got 3 more heats to go. This next one is Heat 4. There we are, off and racing. Heat 4 of the men's 400-meter freestyle. Lane 0, Sergio Zayas. 1 is Zach Zona. 2, Genki Seito. 3, Jonathan Booth. 4, Alex Portal. 5, Oliver Carter. 6, Roger Dorsman. 7, Malte Brunsvig. 8, Freden Dalan. And 9 is Tobias Pollock. They come into that first turn. It is Alex Portal out in front, 28.78. Just behind him, Oliver Carter for Great Britain, 28.83. And Jonathan Booth, Great Britain, 29.57. Those different classes means different points. Scaling, it all seems pretty even in the top sort of 3 or 4 of this race, in this first 100. Of course, we'll see how the rest of the race pans out. Races can't be won in the first 400, in the first 100, sorry, of the 400, but they certainly can be lost. So, right a bit too hard. Leave yourself nothing for the end.
Alex Portal, S13 swimmer. Looking on through here, Jonathan Booth also in line number 3, Great Britain Paralympic swimmer. Trying to make that qualification standard for European Championships, but it's a tough ask for Jonathan Booth to qualify for that one. 4:21.81 is the time required, so Jonathan Booth is going to have to be right on his best, better than his best, I think. He's going to have to do a lifetime best to achieve that time. Ollie Carter has been going along well in recent months. Been breaking a number of Scottish records, hoping to break through into the GB team. He's one of the development swimmers for GB. He's in the S10 class. Certainly the distance freestyle is one of the events that Ollie Carter is looking towards. He's gone over in 209.99. It's a good split there for Ollie Carter for his first 200. So on the 200 last week, he only went 207, so he's not too far away from that split that he wanted to be in. But Alex Portal is swimming really well here. French swimmer at the front. You see the tapping stick there of Roger Dorsman. He's an S12 swimmer, so swimmer with partial vision, the Netherlands swimmer. S12 swimmers allowed, tappers, but they don't have to wear the blacked out goggles that the S11s wear. As they come to the 300 now, Alex Portal from France. Takes them 3:10.07. And Ali Carter just being caught now by Jonathan Booth. He moves into second position with Jinky Sato in third now. And Carter in fourth position. So come to this final 100. Final turn for Alex Portal of France. Very good time from the French swimmer. We've seen some good performances from him this week, but this one I think is the most impressive here. Alex Portal swim away from the rest of the field. He's S13 swimmer. Class that's been dominated by the great Ihar Volki of Belarus for a few years now. So the European and world records are well under the 4-minute mark, but Alex Portal is going to post a good time here. The Frenchman is in 4:13.85, so good time there from Alex Portal, faster than his entry time, much faster. So that was good. Jonathan Booth might just take this one on the touch here. The S9 swimmer is in for 4:28.87 and a good points total. That puts him ahead of the Frenchman. Give him another chance to swim this evening. 800 points should be good enough to make that final. Looks like the highest so far, 803 points. Swimmers yet to come in the outside lanes. Now Sergio Dias, line 0, the experienced Argentinian, picked up a world medal last year. He's in 589 points. And Tobias Pollap, 710 points for the German in line number 9. But Jonathan Booth, looks like he's taken that one. GB Paralympic swimmer, 803 points.
Just waiting for those results to be confirmed. So you need those goggle checks. The S11 swimmers, once they are completed, and these results can be confirmed. And there we have it, Jonathan Booth. That's the highest points total for the 400 so far, 803 points with a time of 4:28.87. Alex Paul, the Frenchman, just behind him, 4:13.85 with 7:99. And Tobias Pollap from Germany, 7:10 with 5:12.89. Just in front of Ruta Silva from Brazil in that first heat. Still with 2 heats to go. Well, all of this could change. This is Heat 5. And this is our penultimate heat for the men's 400 meters. Lane 0, Andreas Jornstad from Norway, Felix Uli-Fritzmel from Germany in 1, Justin Katz in 2, Tiers van den End from the Netherlands in 3, Lewis White in 4, Rowan Lima de Souza from Brazil in 5, Barry McClement 6 from Ireland, Uchu Tomita from Japan, 7, and Inaki Basilov from Argentina in 8 as they come into this 100. It is Ruben de Souza, 101.11 for Brazil, out in front, the S10 swimmer. In lane 4, Lewis White from Great Britain, S9, 101.12, just behind him, of course, in the timings. Different classifications means different points totals as they make their way down to top end of the pool for that 150 split. It's quite an even spread across the field for third. And Lewis White back in front, 134.25. Lane 4, as he makes his way down to the halfway mark of the 400.
Lewis White were chasing that European qualification standard. 4:21.81 is a very tough standard. Lewis White, medalist at the Commonwealth Games in the Gold Coast. Just recently silver in the 100 freestyle. And also the Paralympic bronze medalist. So Lewis White's gone out in a 2:08.23. And he is on course to try and achieve that qualification standard. And Lewis White will head Ruan Lima de Souza there as they come into the 250 mark. And I wonder if he's just going to maintain this pace. If he gets inside that qualification standard, he'll be close to that British record that he holds, set back in Rio, 4:21.38. So Lewis White will just head the Brazilian there as they come down to the 300 mark. We'll keep an eye on this one. Lewis White, if he wants to get inside that standard, he is going to be somewhere in the region of 3:15, 3:16 for Lewis White from Great Britain. And here he comes now into this turn. It's going to be very close now, 3:16 for Lewis White. Well, he's going to have to pick up this final 100 here. Remember the entry time, or the qualification time is 4:21.81 for Lewis White. Here he comes down now to this final 100. He has Ruan Lima de Souza for company. In third place, it is Ties van den Ende. No, Justin Caps from Germany in third position. And in fourth place, it is Barry McClements from Ireland. But Lewis White, can he achieve that time? Looks like it's been hard work for Lewis White this morning. 4:21.81. Trying to pull away from the Brazilian. It is going to have to be a really swift last 50 if he's going to do this one. I think the time might just be slipping away for Lewis White on this occasion. He will have enough, surely, to take place in the final, so he can have another crack at this 400. It's going to be very close, but Lewis White, I think, is going to be outside that qualification standard of 4:21.81. He will come home in front, and his points total will be 842 points. So that should see him into one of the finals this evening quite comfortably. 7:11 for Lima de Souza in second, and Justin Caps finished well, 701 points. And Uchi Tomita, the S11 swimmer from Japan, 835 points, almost catching the total posted by Lewis White. Final swimmer to finish, Andreas Bjornstad. One of the top S7 competitors, and he posts a points total of 754 points.
And while we're waiting for those results to be confirmed, just an announcement for people in the building. This won't affect you, of course, if you're on the stream, but a brown leather wallet has gone missing on pool deck. If anyone finds it, could you please take it to the timing suite? It's a brown leather wallet.
Swimmers exit the water. That was heat number 5. This is heat number 6.
We are, it is our final heat of the men's 400-meter freestyle for the World Series portion of this competition. In lane 0, Facundo Jose Arrugia from Argentina. Jonathan Fox, lane 1 for Great Britain, as is Jackson Simmons in lane 2. Florent Marais for France, lane 3. Bas Tacken for the Netherlands in lane 4. Oliver Hind, Great Britain in 5. David Grachet from Portugal in lane 6. 7 is David Gelfand from the United States of America. Lane 8 is Benjamin Granger for Great Britain, and Ji Wei Wong from Singapore in lane 9. As Tacken from the Netherlands pulled out quite a substantial lead in this first 100. The S10 swimmer in lane 4 comes into his 100-meter split at 58.91. It's only 4 seconds ahead of the rest of the pack already, as he pulls off a very strong start for this swim.
Go over the 150 mark, down to the 200 now. Bas Tacken will lead that one. 4th in the Paralympic Games. He's one of the Dutch squad who takes part in open water events. He's one of the national open water swimmers for Netherlands. Looks strong, doesn't he? Bas Tacken. Halfway gone for him, 204.68. Ollie Hind in 2nd. Ollie Hind is one of GB's top para swimmers, been subject to a reclassification recently. Moved up from an S8 to an S9, part of this classification review that's been happening by World Para Swimming. So Ollie Hind has now got to try and challenge the S9 qualification time. So he'll be up against the likes of Lewis White and Jonathan Booth, who we saw in the previous 2 heats. So Ollie Hind, 2nd position there. Bas Tacken at the front of the field. Florent Marais in 3rd. David Graxa, medalist at the major championships, Portuguese swimmer. We spoke about him earlier. David Graxa in lane number 6, but he's in 4th place at the minute. But Bas Tacken looking really good in front of the field. He's just maybe taking a little bit of off the gas there as he comes into the last 100. Still looking pretty comfortable, Bas Tacken. 107 for that previous 100. So if he does that, he's somewhere around about the 418 mark. Ollie Hind trying hard to stay ahead of David Graxa and Florent Marais, the S10 swimmer. David Graxa and Ollie Hind side by side there. They are both S9 swimmers now. In terms of points, Bas Tacken should have quite a healthy points total. Watch out for Jonathan Fox from Great Britain in lane 1. He's in the S8 class, another one of these swimmers subject to reclassification. Watch out for his total. But here comes Bas Tacken into the finish. Still looking pretty comfortable here. He's going to get under the 420. Just about, yeah, 417.31, 788 points. Ollie Hind just been overtaken in the closing stages by Graxa and Marais. Graxa finishes there, 806, just ahead of Ollie Hind, 798, both ahead of Bas Tacken in terms of points. Well, swimmers coming into closing stages now. Jonathan Fox in line number 1. Not sure if he's going to be able to challenge that points total, but the Argentinian certainly can. Sundo Jose Arregui 855 points for the Argentinian, 645 for Jonathan Fox.
Well, those results have been confirmed. That was heat 6, our final heat for the men's 400-meter freestyle. Just going to wait now to see the list of swimmers who have made it through to tonight's finals, and they have it 8.55. Facundo Jose Arruque for Argentina, the fastest qualifier there, or highest score, shall I say, 8.55. Lewis White, 8.42. Oh, through them. It does, by the looks of things, like I said earlier, it looks like there's going to be 2 finals tonight, so it will be the top 20. Those first 2 pages, of course, some of those athletes tied. There was some tied there for 15th, etc. So even though it did just say 18, they were the top 20 on those first 2 pages. Congratulations to all of those athletes. They will be in the pool again tonight. And what that does do now is move us through to our final event on this program for this morning, which is event 408. It's the men's 400-meter freestyle national final heats. So we have 4 heats here. All these athletes trying to qualify to that one final this evening for the British final. Good luck. We have it, off and racing our first heat of this event, event 408. Sebastian Williams in lane 0, Alexander Hobbs lane 1, lane 2, Liam Hardy, lane 3, Nathaniel Costigan, lane 4, Leo McCree, lane 5, Benjamin Pope, lane 6, Lachlan Macbeth, lane 7, Jacob Chalmers, lane 8 is Robin Surgener. Make their way into that first 50. Wide range of classified athletes in this heat. But first to the touch was, with 36.66, Nathaniel Costigan from Satellite. Let's then make their way down to the bottom end of the pool in this first 100.
Our 4 swimmers there just making their way away from the rest of the field here. Benjamin Pope leading Leo McCree. It's all kind of south coast dominated at the minute. Benjamin Pope from Havant and Waterlooville. Leo McCree from Bournemouth College. Leo McCree, the S6 swimmer. Lowest classification in this one. We do have 3 S6s. Sebastian Williams in lane 0, Leo McCree, that centre lane there, and Robin Surgener from Orion going up there in lane number 8. So Leo McCree might just hit the front here. Benjamin Pope as they come to the halfway point. Just about leading there, Leo McCree by 4/100ths of a second. In 2:51.28. He's done pretty well this week, Liam McCree. He said yesterday, his sister on the way to European Juniors. And Leo performing really well here at these championships. It's down in Bournemouth, same place as where Alice Ty began her competitive career. So Alice Ty and Liam McCree from the same stable down there in Bournemouth. Coming through now to the 250 mark. Looks like Benjamin Pope maybe just taking that lead again. And he does make use of the longer levers. Benjamin Pope to get away cleanly. In lane 0, Sebastian Williams going over there for Barnett Coptill. He's in 8th position. Out of the 8 swimmers, Leo McCree trying hard. Shorter arms of Leo McCree has a longer, has much faster stroke rate, a longer strokes of Benjamin Pope there. And you'll probably see as they come off this turn that Benjamin Pope will get a little bit more of an advantage from his leg there as Leo McCree goes over, loses ground off the turn, but once they're into the swim, Leo McCree really determined there, really putting some effort into this one as they come into the last 100. Leo McCree going ahead now. I wonder if Benjamin Pope can get back onto level terms. 2 lanes down from McCree. Liam Hardy from City of Manchester Aquatic. He's going well. He's going in 3rd position at the moment. Leo McCree looks like he has the lead though. That high stroke rate for the Bournemouth College swimmer. Benjamin Pope might just come back slightly on this turn, but Leo McCree has an advantage now. Benjamin Pope, he tried to come back, but Leo McCree still has the lead as they come into this final 50 now. Benjamin Pope trying to pick it up, but Leo McCree is away and clear now, I think. Just forging ahead here. Leo McCree with that entry time that he posted to enter this competition of 6:08.25. And boy, this looks like it's going to be a big improvement for him. Benjamin Pope isn't finished yet though. The Havant and Waterlooville swimmer coming back in the closing stages though. He has the advantage of the long arms at the end here, but Leo McCree looks like he might just take this one. And he is in 5:49.41. Benjamin Pope in 2nd place, 5:49.74. And a really good race between those two, but Leo McCree takes it. And that 5:49, well, that's an improvement of, well, just the 19 seconds today, John.
Just a casual 19.
Yeah.
We're seeing that a lot at this competition, though. A lot of these, younger swimmers coming through and absolutely smashing their PBs. It's good to see. You see, often swimmers, they swim, and athletes in general, I feel, once you put them into a competition setting, really do excel. It's good to get them on this platform and give them that experience of competing at such a level.
Yeah, it certainly is. And there's a lot of good role models for them to watch here. A lot of the top international swimmers that they'll see around here in Ponsforge. And swimmers still in the water now. Robin Sojourner over there in lane number 8. Alexander Hobbs and Sebastian Williams in lanes 1 and 0. Robin Sojourner in now. My old teammate, 6:59.28. That's an improvement for him. Well done, Robin. He's under the 7-minute mark. 6:59. Thumbs up for Robin. 2 swimmers at the bottom there, Alexander Hobbs and Sebastian Williams coming in now. There's Leo McCree. What a good swim that was. 5:59. Sorry, 5:49 and a 559 points total. Too many 5s, too many 9s there.
It's been a long morning. There we have it. That concludes our first heat, 1 of 4 for the final event on this morning's program. There we have it, Leo McCree from Bournemouth, 5:49.41. 5:59, the points total to beat. We'll get close to if looking at making that final tonight. And this brings us swiftly along to heat 2. We have it off and racing in heat 2, the men's 400 freestyle national final heats. Lane 0, Stephen McCormick. 1, Leo Johnson. 2, Owen Say. 3, Owen Garsides. 4, Adam Donacci. 5, Balthazar Bradshaw. 6 is Ryan Potter. 7, Maximilian Tulloch. 8, Reese Gill. And 9, Ethan Nesbitt. Owen Garsides, the S14 swimmer, 33.44, first to touch at the 50 split. Second, Ryan Potter, 33.49. And third, Owen Say for Bracknell, the S8 swimmer, and 34.33. Really nothing in it between those three swimmers as they approach the first 100. And it is Ryan Potter at 1:13.10. Just like we mentioned in the earlier races, the 400 and 800 and 1500, these sort of mid-distance and long-distance swims, it all can change as the race progresses. You know, what strategy? Are they going out hard from the start? Are they trying to maintain a consistent pace? Are they picking up in the back end of the race? Each individual athlete different. Each individual athlete works with their coaches on the best strategy. As we can see here, those three out in front, all maintaining a pretty similar pace as we approach this first 150. And still Ryan Potter out in front, 1:54.70. Swims in Blackpool. Now really starting to extend his lead to the front of the pack. He's a full body length in front of Owen Garsides. In lane 3 as they come down to the halfway mark of the race. Really seems starting to push forward, wanting to make that final tonight. There is only one final of the British Nationals, so only 10 spaces for an S14 swimmer. Against these other categories, they really do need to extend that lead and make sure they secure a really solid time.
Ryan Potter out fast there, 2:36.37. So it's a 1:23 split for his last 100 for the Blackpool swimmer. Owen Garsides from Kingston upon Hull in second place. Kingston upon Hull, the only British city beginning with a K. You like my trivia this morning, John?
You're teaching me a whole lot. I did not know that. Is that true?
There you go. See? I'm full of it.
Well, keep it coming. Need this next time at a trivia night.
That's it. Owen Say in second place. Don't know anything about Bracknell. I'm sorry, Owen. East Kilbride's Adam Donachie. East Kilbride's Adam Donachie. East Kilbride, the very first new town in Scotland.
I should be writing these down, you know.
Anyway, back to Ryan Potter. Blackpool Aquatics, safe lane number 1. Let's see if he can maintain that pace. No, but 120. What did we say? 123. I should have written it down instead of giving you my trivia facts. I think it was 123. I do find them interesting.
It does, by the looks of things, seem he is maintaining a pretty similar pace as he comes into that final 100. 4 minutes, 0.92, still out in front in lane 6 there. Maintaining a body length and a half in front of Owen Garsides from Kingston Hull.
Yeah, it looks like Ryan Potter is going to be around about the 5:20 mark. And again, we might just get a huge improvement here on his entry time. 5:43 is entry time. We saw a 19-second improvement from Leo McCree in that previous heat. And if we get 5:20 here for Ryan Potter, it'll be a 23-second improvement for the young man from Blackpool Athletics.
Well, he is putting in a strong swim now as he makes his way down into this final 50. It really is encouraging, you know, watching all these young swimmers come in here and smash their PBs. It's a great feeling, you know.
It is good, yeah. It's good to see people step up to the occasion. And people like Ryan Potter. That was a big setting. A lot of top international swimmers, of course. And these guys are really stepping up to the plate here. Let's see if we can get around about that 5:20. Just about 5:19, 5:20 slipping over now. And it is 5:23 for Ryan Potter. He will take that one, and that's a 20-second improvement on his entry time. Another massive amount shaved off that one, and he will be ahead of Adam Donachie, who finishes in second position in terms of points. So very close in terms of points, actually. Owen Garside and Owen Say, 460 and 466. So we've got two more swims to come, two more finals to come, and at the moment, as it looks, in that one, Ryan Potter, 482, ahead of Adam Donachie, 472. So those are the two highest points earners in that first heat. I think they've maintained haven't beaten the time of the first heat or the points of the first heat. So 4 swimmers all in a batch there, 466 in fourth position. So 16 points separating the top 4 swimmers. And they'll be looking to swim this 400 again tonight. Good chance of making that final. But with 2 heats to go, well, might just be touch and go for those guys in the 400, mid-400 ranges. Swimmers are out of the water now. That was heat 2. We move on to heat number 3.
Our penultimate heat of this morning's session. Lane 0, Luke Batty. Lane 2, Joshua Fairchild. Lane 4, Cameron Verncom. Lane 5, Connor Ballard. Lane 6, Kieran Williams. Lane 7, Dominic Redpath. Lane 8, Riley Shanahan. And lane 9, Peter Harper. And it looks like Connor Verncom from Newquay, 31.14. First to touch at the first 50. Cameron starting to push forward as he comes into that 100-meter split, 106.78. Means 5, 6, and 7, all fighting for second and third at the moment in this race. Early stages of this 400-meter. Of course, different classifications, as always, means a different points total at the end. So each swimmer racing against other athletes within their category for the point system. The closer your time is to IPC World Record standard, the higher your points. Cameron hits that 150 mark at 1:42.58. As we head into the halfway point of this race, you can really see Cameron Verncom starting to push forward. 2:18.02. Dominic Redpath, Kieran Williams, and Connor Ballard not too far behind, but it does look like it's going to be Kieran Williams, the S10 swimmer from Newquay, 2:22.43. Time in second. Connor Ballard in third from Leatherhead, another S10 swimmer, 2:22.73. Very, very close race between those two swimmers. But Kieran Williams just starting to pull forward as well.
It doesn't look like they're going to catch Cameron Burncombe though.
No, way out in front, 2:53.88 at the 2:50 mark. Still maintaining that strong pace, starting to push forward, looks good in the water.
He's going around about a 1:11 for his hundreds there, so we'll be looking for something around about the 3:30 mark when he gets down here to this bottom end. Cameron Burncombe from Newquay. He was with Caradon before, he's obviously representing Newquay now. He's under the 3:30. It wasn't a bad guess, was it? 3:29.95. I'll take that.
I'm impressed with these.
Yeah.
These maths equations you're pulling out live.
Cameron Burncombe. He's going away now with 50 to go. It looks like he is going to take that one. So Cameron Burncombe with 50 metres to go now. He's swum this very well. He's followed by Kieran Williams, who's pulled away from the others in the second half of this race. And Connor Ballard clear in third now. Everything getting a little bit stretched out at the front of the field. Cameron Burncombe swum this really well though. Wonder if he can just get in under that 4:40 mark. It's going to be pretty close to that. He comes in now to the final five, Cameron Burncombe. So he dips under that time. Not sure he's going to, is he? Oh, 4:40.84 for Cameron Burncombe. And he'll be pleased with that one. A convincing win for him. Kieran Williams in second position. And in third, coming in now in lane number 5, Connor Ballard. In terms of points, Cameron Burncombe has the top points so far, 737 points. And I don't think anyone is going to challenge those ones. The outside lanes, the S9 swimmers. Dominic Redpath, 581's already home. Riley Shanahan in lane number 8 and Luke Batty in lane 0. Not going to challenge the time of Cameron Burncombe. At the moment, here comes Riley Shanahan, 441 points for Riley. Luke Batty in with 419, and Peter Harper, 427.
Have a fantastic swim from Cameron Burncombe there, Newquay. 7:37, once that has been confirmed, looks like it is, it certainly is, the highest points total of these heats. So far, that is the score to beat. Now, just to clarify something, Paul and I were talking earlier, we weren't sure whether there was going to be 2 or 3 finals in event 457 tonight, which is the men's 400-meter freestyle World Series event. There is actually going to be 3. So congratulations to those top 30 athletes making it through. This is Heat 4. There we are, our final heat of this morning's session. This morning's program is the men's 400-meter freestyle heat 4. Lane 0, Matthew Close from Carrington. Lane 1, Scott Hadley. Lane 2, Tom Piggott. Lane 4, Rhys Davis. Lane 5, Adam Wyborn. Lane 7, George Eldridge. Lane 8 is Charlie Cullum. And lane 9, Joseph Greaves.
Well, the early stages, Pembrokeshire County's Rhys Davis is well clear of the others. And he swam this morning, Rhys Davis, 102.92 at that first 100. Second place, looks like it is Tom Piggott there from Oswestry. And Adam Wyborn in third there, 109.73, but already looks like it's a contest for second because the first place has got a substantial lead there as they go up to the 150 turn. Well, Rhys Davis has been performing really well this week. He's been in most of the national finals for the men. And a number of them he's come out on top. Born in 2001, so just 16 years of age. 17 years of age this year for Rhys Davis. Pembrokeshire County swimmer. And we'll just check his split as he gets down to the bottom end here. See if we can predict where he's going to finish, John. What do you think? What's your bets there as he goes over in 2:13.80?
I'm not willing to put any bets down on that, Paul, because I know you're going to beat me. 2:13.80. Adam Wyborn, near centreman from Billingham, 2:24.65. Tom Piggott, 2:26.81.
Rhys Davis with an entry time of 4:33.09, and I think he's going to be just about on that, maybe 4:33-ish, maybe just over possibly. Once he picks it up, we know he's very strong. We've seen him come back strongly in other events. He has had someone alongside him though, push him on. He just goes over there in 3:25.12, so that was around about 1:11. So if he comes back on that one, he's looking at 3:36, maybe 3:34 possibly, if he can just pick up the pace. 4:34 I should say. 3:34 would be a good 400. 4:34 for Rhys Davis. He's had a great week. Looks set to continue. I think he's going to make it into the final for this national final tonight. Adam Wyborn in second position there. Everything getting a little bit stretched out. Tom Piggott going well. The S10 swimmer in lane number 2. See him go towards the top end there, but here comes Rhys Davis. Is he going to be able to get close to that 4:33? I think maybe just over that 4:33. Somewhere in the region of 4:35 or so, but he's really picking up the pace here in his closing stages. Yeah, 4:34.96, so 4:35 guess wasn't too bad. 785 points for Rhys Davis. Adam Wyborn from Billingham, he's in 450.38, 549 points. It's going to be tough for anyone to beat that 785. I think that's the best time that we've seen. It sets up a good contest between Rhys Davis and Cameron Verncombe.
Absolutely, it looks like it's going to be a fight for those two tonight in the final. 785, 737. Those, by the looks of things, must have been confirmed. Top points scores of the national heats. And there you have it, it has been confirmed. Rhys Davis, 434.96 gives him 785 points. Adam Wyborn, 549 points. George Eldridge, 534. Tom Piggott, 494. Matthew Close, 489. Scott Hadley, 478. Joseph Greaves, 462. And Charlie Cullum on 456. So the next screen you'll see are the confirmed results for the final tonight. There they are. Congratulations to all of those athletes. They will be back in for the national final this evening. And there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. That does conclude the action here for the final morning of heats for the British Para Swimming International Meet 2018 at Ponds Forge International Sports Centre. We will be back live again tonight for the finals. It is the final day of finals, and it's going to be a whole lot of fun. Lots of incredible action in the pool this evening. So do tune in if you're at home on British Swimming website or YouTube page, or of course BBC Sport. We're going to be going live from about 4:45. Well, from 4:45 this afternoon. Our finals kick off at 5 p.m. For those of you who are lucky enough to be here, head off, stretch your legs, and have yourself a nice little break like we are. We'll be back for all the action later on this afternoon.